Scott, the second half begins, and Lou Piniella knows that if the Cubs are going to win this division, the offense has to step it up. With D. Lee carrying the team, the responsibility falls squarely on two men, Alfonso Soriano and Milton Bradley, to get it going. So we're starting over. It's a clean slate. Time to bust out in Washington next. It's a hot and steamy night in our nation's capital. We're in Washington, D.C. for Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Tonight, the Cubs kick off the second half with a 7-game road trip, 4 here against the team with the worst record in baseball. They'll end it in Philadelphia against the defending world champions. And as we start this second half, let's check on the Cubs standing in the NL Central. Right now, they're tied with the Houston Astros for third place, 3.5 behind St. Louis, but again, just one back in the loss column. Hi again, everyone. Hope you had a good All-Star break. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. Mentioned right off the top, veterans like Alfonso Soriano and Milton Bradley need to have a better second half than the first. But, Bob, as we take a look back, the Cubs, because of injuries, relied on a lot of guys from the minor leagues.
Well, you know, you break spring training with 25 players on your major league roster, but you know darn well you're going to need to reach into that minor leagues for help during the course of the season. And these 11 guys in the first half provided varying degrees of help here at the major league level.
I have to certainly point out Randy Wells in particular, now a big part of the Cubs starting rotation. Now this is a dangerous series because Washington comes in at 26-61. It cost Manny Acta his job right during the All-Star break. Jim Riggleman, former Cubs manager, the bench coach, takes over.
Well, he's got his hands full. There's no question about it. He said he wants to change the culture of losing here in Washington. He said it's a tough game to play. You're going to lose your share of games, but he doesn't want guys to get comfortable with losing. And to that end, he had the players out early today working on some fundamental drills before batting practice. So I'm sure he's going to do everything in his power to help turn this around.
Let's talk about the starting pitchers. For Rich Harden tonight, he is due for a good outing, and he's been a lot better on the road.
Yeah, he's been much better on the road than at Wrigley Field. And Rich Harden is a guy, we talk about the players on the offense who need to step it up. With Ryan Dempster on the disabled list, Rich Harden is a guy that really needs to revert to form that he had last year. He has not been nearly as dominating, has given up a lot of home runs. And for John Lannon, one of the toughest lefties in the National League, nobody knows about.
Yeah, he was their opening day starter and unbeaten here at Nationals Park. So coming up, the right-hander Rich Harden looking for a good start, in desperate need of a good one. Way off his game the last 2 times out. He'll take on a pretty good Washington offense. When we come back, it's the Cubs and the Nationals coming up.
With Quickcrete fast setting concrete, you just pour it in the hole and add water. It sets hard in minutes. After all, what do you think we call it Quickcrete?
Why do people shop at K&K True Value Hardware?
The place where you want to feel like you're being treated as a customer and as a person. That's the good vibes that you get back from people at K&K.
I know that when I walk in the door, someone is going to be there to help me. My gosh, I've seen some of the same people for 25 years.
They're friendly, they help me out with a lot of my questions, and it's just great to see a smile.
Service with answers, that's the K&K way.
America, put down your sandwiches and speak up.
Subway, eat fresh.
When you want savings you can taste.
Eat fresh.
Eat fresh. Flavor you can bank on.
Eat fresh.
Eat fresh.
And huge flavorific subs that won't take a big bite out of your wallet.
Eat fresh.
Eat fresh.
Right now at Subway restaurants, you can get one of 8 regular 6-inch fresh value meals for just $5. That's one of 8 regular 6-inch sandwiches, plus chips and a drink for just $5. Subway, eat fresh.
Cubs Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by the all-new 2010 Lexus RS, reinventing the vehicle that invented it all. Menards. At Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings. McDonald's of Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. Honda. Test drive a 2009 Honda today at your Honda dealer. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, dedicated to giving you the security to experience wellness everywhere. Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
Start of a 4-game weekend series and a 7-game trip here at Nationals Park. Second time the Cubs have been here. Let's look in on the Cubs Southwest starting lineup is written out by Lou Piniella, who met the president today at the White House. Reed Johnson will lead it off. Terrio, Bradley, Lee. You have Aramis Ramirez with a 5-game hitting streak. Soriano in that 6th spot. Jeff Baker at 2nd. And the battery tonight for the Cubs, Hill and Harden. And 24-year-old southpaw John Lannon is ready to work. Very patriotic looking ball game here. The red against the blue. And we're underway. Strike one from Lannon to Reed Johnson. Tall lefty dealing again. That missed 1-1. Lannon has beaten the Cubs both times he has faced them. Both previous starts coming last year.
18 starts this season. 11 of those have been quality starts. Over the course of his career, 62% of his starts have been quality starts. However, the Nationals' record in those ball games is 15-19, which speaks a little bit to the offensive and defensive struggles of his teammates.
Thanks, sir. A fly ball into right. This is Josh Willingham, and he makes the catch for the first out.
Let's take a look at the rest of the Nationals defensively tonight. Big Adam Dunn out in left field. Former Pirate Niger Morgan in center. We've seen Josh Willingham out in right field. Made the first catch on the fly ball off the bat of Reed Johnson. Zimmerman, Guzman, Gonzalez, and Johnson across the infield. Josh Bard doing the catching tonight for left-hander John Lannon.
Brian Terrio starting the second half at .299, and he takes a strike on the outer third.
Now, Lannon has 4 pitches, fast curve, slider, change. In the past, he's been basically a slider fastball pitcher to the left-handed hitters, of which the Cubs have exactly 0 in the lineup tonight. And against the righties, he'll mix in the straight changeup and the curveball as well.
Let's set the umpires for you. Paul Emmel has been doing this for about a decade. He'll work the plate. Gary Darling is the crew chief at first base. And actually a couple of late changes. DJ Rayburn's going to be at second. Mike Estabrook is at third. Sorry, you guys didn't get the late lineup, huh? They handed us a new sheet. Sorry. The 1-2 on the way to Terrio is a 2-hopper right at Gonzalez, the second baseman. He throws out Brian Terrio. So 2 up, 2 down. Long day for the Cubs as they had their post All-Star break workout early this afternoon. So guys basically went through full batting practice twice.
And the real cherry on the sundae was several of the players took even more batting practice in the cage before the ball game tonight.
Well, unfortunately, not translating into first inning runs as Lannon easily goes 1, 2, 3. Rich Harden will take the ball against the Nationals offense when we come back to D.C.
Every weekday morning, wake up with the Monsters in the Morning. Traffic, weather, sports, and a whole lot of fun. Monsters in the Morning, every weekday morning from 6 till 9. Only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Update your home with pre-assembled PVC fence panels from Menards. They're ultrasonically welded for superior strength and feature a lifetime warranty. This 6x6-foot privacy fence panel is $38.88. A 6-foot-high lattice-top panel is $69.97. Finish your siding or deck with CWF exterior wood finish. It penetrates deep into the wood to seal out moisture. Honey gold, clear, cedar, or redwood finishes are on sale, $15.88 a gallon. 5-gallon pails are also on sale.
Save big money at Menards.
2 beers. You got it.
Are you insured? assured? Do you know when your beer is perfectly cold? Or do you risk drinking a warm one? If you have the new Coors Light Cold Activated can, you're covered, because now every can turns blue when your beer is as cold as the Rockies. It's cold insurance. Only from Coors Light. Cold beer? That's our policy.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Don't miss out on anything happening with your team. Visit CSNChicago.com for the biggest and best selection of videos, full-length press conferences, locker room reaction, and insider access you won't get anywhere else. CSNChicago.com, your hub for complete access to your favorite Chicago sports team.
Cubs went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Let's check out the Nationals Southwest starting lineup, written out for the first time by Jim Riggleman. Niger Morgan, former Pirate, came over in late June. He's been really good with the Nationals. Johnson, Zimmerman, Dunn. You have a lot of pop in the middle of this lineup. Willingham in right. Christian Guzman is the shortstop. Josh Bard, switch hitting catcher. Alberto Gonzalez at second. And the pitcher, John Lannon, hits ninth.
Well, we know from past experience it's always advisable to keep Niger Morgan off the base pass. He can be very disruptive with his speed.
Called strike on a fastball from Harden to Morgan. Checked his swing. 1-1 the count. Trying to even up his season mark at 6-6. He comes in with an ERA of almost 5.5, which is really surprising. Good changeup there. 1-2.
Right, for Rich Harden, it really works off the command of his fastball. He needs to be able to throw quality strikes with his fastball in order to set up those swings and misses at the straight changeup.
Him up. Derek Lee in foul territory coming on and making the catch for the first out.
Let's take a look at the rest of the Cubs defensively tonight. Behind Rich Harden, Soriano, Johnson, Bradley across the outfield. Ramirez and Terrio once again on the left side. Baker and Lee on the right side tonight. Coy Hill behind the plate, and he'll be doing the catching for Rich Harden. Mentioned no left-handed bats in the lineup tonight against the lefty John Lannon, although left-handers have hit better against John Lannon this season than righties. Not only for average, but for power. Lefties hitting .319 with 7 homers. Righties hitting .258 with 5.
It's kind of odd to see Nick Johnson healthy. That's been a problem for him the last few years, but when healthy, he is a fantastic hitter. .305, the on-base percentage over 400. Takes a lot of walks. The 0-2 from Harden almost hit Johnson. 1-2. Really, offense, Bob, has not been the issue for the Nationals. Middle of the pack in the National League, 8th in runs. But the pitching, that is an entirely different story, even though, as we talked about, John Lannon has done a nice job. Johnson drifting over into the gap in right center, makes a catch. They haven't played good defense either. Well, they say pitching and defense is what it takes, and the Nationals have failed in both departments pretty miserably for the most part.
Well, they lead the majors in errors. You get a look at the game conditions here tonight. 91 degrees. It's steamy. It's a little humid, but good night for a ball game. The Nationals dead last in Major League Baseball with their 82 team errors. You mentioned offensively, they've done some things well in the middle of the pack in a lot of categories. 4th in team batting average in the National League, but along with the Cleveland Indians, one of only 2 teams in Major League Baseball with a team ERA over 5.
Ryan Zimmerman was in the All-Star game for the first time in his career, went 0 for 2 coming off the bench. The National League lost again. 4-3 the final. So what's that, 13 in a row now for the American League, plus the tie. So the AL will have home field advantage in the World Series. So you're the only National League All-Star manager that hasn't lost since 1996.
Oh, that's funny. I get a kick out of that.
Well, they played that game in 2.5 hours.
It was like the team bus was double parked. A lot of guys swinging at first pitches. Of course, when you're facing that caliber of pitching, you don't want to work too many deep counts because then you're going to get to the guys out pitch. So a lot of very early count swinging by both ball clubs.
Just missed 3-2. Adam Dunn, who has cranked 38 career homers against the Cubs, is on deck. Rich Harden would just as soon face Dunn with nobody on, leading off the bottom of the second if possible. As Zimmerman fouls it back. Dunn with 23 home runs. Boy, from behind, it looks like Adam Dunn still with the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, you never know the difference.
Swing and a miss, struck him out, and Harden matches Lannon with a perfect first of his own. We'll go to the second early on from Washington, 0-0.
Our 737s fly to over 65 cities across the country every day, each with an average speed of 590 miles per hour. Almost as fast as you. Nothing's going to hold you down. Starting August 16th, fly Southwest Airlines from Chicago Midway to Boston Logan for just $89 one way. Bags fly free on Southwest, so our low fares stay low. Grab your bag. It's on. Book now at southwest.com.
Back. Mr. Miller. Everyone's heading to Arby's for the official $5 combo of summer, featuring Arby's new barbecue bacon cheddar roast burger with curly fries and a drink for only $5. Big on barbecue taste, it's the $5 combo done better.
Every drive can be broken down into millions of tiny moments. And in each of these moments, the LS is learning how you shift, how you accelerate. It's even learning body temperature, so that when each journey ends, the LS is a different car, one that's a little more educated about a subject called you. The Lexus LS.
We didn't talk about baseball. He was very personal with my grandkids and with my wife and children. I was very appreciative. He's a class man, and he's done a really nice job for our country. And it was just an honor and a pleasure being in his presence, and we're very appreciative that he took a few minutes out of his very, very important day to say hello to us.
That's the Cubs manager on meeting President Obama earlier today as they were touring the White House, Lou and his entire family. Derek Lee lines one the other way, and Willingham able to pick it right before it hit the grass. Derek coming off an excellent homestand to finish the first half and hit that ball hard, but for an out.
A lot of balls being hit to right field in the early going here tonight. That tells you that John Lannon keeping the ball away from the right-handed hitters with some sinking movement. Further away, that ball was hit well, but right to the right fielder.
Aramis Ramirez takes one a little high on a curveball. 1 ball, no strikes. Looking all the way, that's a strike. Aramis returned on the last homestand from the disabled list, where he missed 50 games with the dislocated left shoulder. 6 for 24 since his return. Lannon's 1-2 is inside. 2-2. I know the Cubs aren't worried about the Phillies. That's the team they'll play after this weekend. But you have the Nationals 22.5 games behind the defending world champion Phillies. Ball 4, and there's the first base runner, Aramis Ramirez, with one out here in the second. But Bob, as we both know, especially on the road where the Cubs are just 16-25, you can't take anybody lightly.
Especially under the circumstances here with Jim Riggleman taking over for Manny Acta, you would have to believe that some of the guys on this Nationals ball club are playing for their future here in Washington and are probably going to bring their A game for their new skipper. So, and you mentioned they've got some thunder in this lineup, some guys that can hurt you if you make mistakes. So you cannot afford to take this game or this series lightly.
Former National Alfonso Soriano digging in. And he slices it foul out of play. Soriano in that 6th spot. Well, for guys like Soriano and Milton Bradley in particular, starting the second half, both under 250 in the case of Soriano at 233. They can just put that in the rearview mirror, not think about all that went wrong, just think about maybe the few things that went right for each of them individually, and look forward to hopefully a great second half. That's all you can do at this point.
Hey, you can't make it go away. You can't change it at this point. All you can do is hope to put up better numbers in the second half, help your team win a few more games. And hey, if Bradley and Soriano are able to do that, when they look up at the end of the season, their numbers will be respectable. But they got a long way to go right now.
The 2-2 to Soriano's bounced foul near the Cubs dugout. His 1 year here in Washington was 2006. The Nationals played their home games at old RFK Stadium, and he hit a career high 46 home runs that season. And then signed the big free agent contract with the Cubs. He went too far. That's a strikeout. Paul Emmel, the home plate umpire, made the call. 2 outs.
Some encouraging signs at the very tail end of the first half. Soriano started to be a little bit more patient, take a few more base on balls. He worked a lot more deep counts, but it's rung up on a check swing right there on a high fastball.
Brings up Jeff Baker playing second. That's high. Another lefty tomorrow night, Scott Olson, to face the Cubs, so we may see Baker in there yet again. Cubs are 8-10 against left-handed starters this year, so this is only their 19th game against a lefty. 68 have come against righties. Bouncer to Guzman. This will be an easy toss to Gonzalez at second. Cubs get a 1-out walk, but still no runs after an inning and a half. 0-0.
After 4 hours, the dangers of driver fatigue increase by 200%. But with Attention Assist, your new E-Class can actually detect drowsy driving behavior and warn you. This is the new E-Class. This is Mercedes-Benz.
Wait a minute. A High Life shirt and a beret. Pump the brakes. I know that ain't what I think it is. Oh, no, no, no.
Hello, are you here to fix the bidet?
I don't even know what a bidet is. We're here to revoke your High Life license. $135 for a High Life shirt? Pack all that up. Make sure you get it all. There we go. Are you living the High Life? I didn't think so. The badge of common sense only go to the worthy.
Miller High Life Extras. Get authentic High Life gear for buying the beer. Only at MillerHighLife.com.
Times have changed, especially when it comes to owning a home. At Wells Fargo, we're with you when you're wondering if it's the right time for you to buy, when you're not sure what you should spend, and when you want to find the right opportunity for you and your family. We're with you when it's time to make a house your home. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
You accidentally wander from your lane. You were not aware, but your lane-keeping assist was. And after a gentle warning, you steer safely back into your lane. This is the the new E-Class. This is Mercedes-Benz.
Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Reds on Saturday, July 25th. Game time is 12:05 p.m. and be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 adults 21 and older will receive a Cubs keychain. Compliments of Comcast Sportsnet. I guess that's appropriate. Speaking of the Reds, and the former Red, Adam Dunn, will lead off the bottom of the second. A lot of Cub fans here in D.C. Outside corner strike on a fastball. Adam Dunn's average is up. Well, we've seen him in the 220s, 230s, but still the on-base percentage is always healthy. Last year he hit 236 between the Reds and the Diamondbacks. Career average 248. And the 0-2 checked his swing and was able to hold. Rich Harden's throwing hard, that one at 95, but actually velocity has not been his problem here lately. The pitch. Bounced that changeup in front of home plate to even the count at 2 apiece. And we know that because of those deep counts, he's going to strike out his fair share. Next one will be number 100 on the year.
And a lot of those strikeouts are the looking variety. He has such a good eye for the strike zone, but he will take his share of called strike 3.
There's a swinging strike 3. So basically, whenever he's played a full season, and he doesn't miss a lot of games. I mean, he's normally 158, 160. He's always in triple digits in strikeouts and generally in walks as well.
Pretty predictable offensive player. You're either going to see him walk, strike out, or hit a home run for the most part. The unpredictability comes when he puts that glove on his hand and goes out to left field. Watch out. Very adventuresome in the outfield.
Strike one on former Florida Marlin Josh Willingham. He's playing right. He played a lot of left in Florida. Another one bouncing in front of home plate. Willingham's hot. At least he was ending the first half with an 11-game hitting streak during which he's hit 366. Swing and a miss. Harden dominated the Nationals last year on August 24th. A 6-1 Cubs win. 7 innings, 1 run. He struck out 11, didn't walk anybody. That's bounced foul. Right to our good friend Pat Listash. Former Cubs minor league manager Pat Listash. So there's some good connections here. Jim Riggleman in the dugout. And Marquise Grissom over at first base. He was with the Cubs in spring training right at the end of his career in 2006. Johnson drifts back. A lot of room out there. And he has it 2 feet in front of the warning track. That was a little more routine than the catch of the year last year for the Cubs as Reed Johnson went flying into the gap in left center.
Maybe the best catch I've ever seen in the outfield, given where Reed Johnson started from. He was a couple steps over into right center. Running as hard as he could run, left his feet, dove into the wall to make the catch. We'll give him points for style with that bill of his cap curled up too. What a play.
Christian Guzman, strike one. Yeah, Reed Johnson made a heck of a catch the other night. Diving play in the ninth to keep the Cardinals from getting a couple of insurance runs. He replaced Sean Marshall in left after Marshall replaced Alfonso Soriano. That was an interesting maneuver by Lou Piniella, and it worked out. As Marshall, when he came back into the game, was able to get out of the inning.
Well, those are the kind of things you have to do in a big game when you only have one left-handed pitcher in the bullpen. But the Cubs made a step today to possibly remedy that situation in the near future.
Popped up shallow left. Terrio looking for some help. Soriano there. The hop, the catch, and the third out. So 6 up, 6 down. For the Cubs right-hander Rich Harden on to the third. We're scoreless.
Hey, Mom, I need some minutes.
I just gave you some at the restaurant.
Yeah, no, I threw them out. They were old.
Old?
So...
They're rollover minutes. They are as good as new. You know, not everyone gets to keep their unused minutes. And these days, we can't afford to be wasteful. Saving minutes.
Saves money. Yeah.
Only AT&T's Family Talk with Rollover saves your family's unused minutes. And saving minutes saves money. Get the LG Neon from AT&T. Now only $29.99 after mail-in rebate.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
For more than 20 years, people have been coming to Bud's Skyline Inn, the Quad City's #1 supper club. Fly in for some of Bud's favorites, like their famous surf and turf, tantalizing steaks, succulent catfish, or mouth-watering prime rib. Relax at Bud's Skyline Inn with your favorite cocktail while keeping track of the arrival and departures at the Quad City International Airport. In a hurry? Get in and out with their $6.95 lunch specials every weekday. So for your next special occasion or just a quick lunch, Bud's Skyline Inn, just 2 minutes from the airport.
Trust DHCU for loans for any reason, for any season. Whether starting off on your own or moving into your golden years, we have a loan to fit your needs. Apply online, by mail, or phone, and get a reply as quickly as possible, usually by the same day. So surf us, buzz us, or stop by to find out how DHCU can improve the seasons of your life.
Tomorrow morning starts your day with the Monsters in the morning. Tomorrow at 7, the Monsters have Blackhawks captain Jonathan Taves in studio to talk about the offseason moves and the weekend's fan convention. Monsters in the morning with Mike North and Dan Jiggets tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Switch hitting catcher Coy Hill leading off the Cubs' third. Boy, John Lannon doesn't take much time between pitches. Giovanni Soto's on the disabled list with the oblique injury, but Cubs assistant general manager Randy Bush gave an encouraging report on Gio, and hopefully he won't be out too long. But in the meantime, it'll be a lot of Coy Hill and maybe a little Jake Fox, who caught a couple of innings in the nightcap against St. Louis Sunday. Chopper to third for Zimmerman, and he has a terrible throw. What was that from Ryan Zimmerman? As Coy Hill will end up at second base. That was about as routine as brushing your teeth at night. I don't know if he caught a spike in the grass or what, but that was a dismal throw. We talked about their defense. They've been the worst defense in baseball, and for Zimmerman, that's his 13th error. Watch this.
The 83rd of the year. Oh, he just airmails that over everybody. I mean, he was at a point, if he kept running forward, he could have made an underhanded toss to Nick Johnson for the out, but gets underneath that ball and sails it up into the bleachers.
So Harden will try to move Hill to third base, and a chance for the Cubs to take the lead. The 1-0 pitch bunted foul, and Bob, you hope that's one of those here we go again moments. Well, sometimes teams that are 35 games under 500, you have a play like that when everything's going well, and everybody can tend to sag. It's their 83rd error already, most in the majors. Outside, good eye, 2-1.
And I'll tell you, Zimmerman is almost getting into no man's land, charging this attempted bunt by Rich Harden. A faster runner at second base might be able to straight steal third. Especially with the left-handed pitcher on the mound, it's a very natural move for him to come off to the third base side and throw that direction.
Zimmerman picks it up. This throw is on the mark as Alberto Gonzalez is covering the bag, and for Harden, that's his 4th sacrifice bunt of the season. Runner at third with only 1 out.
Usually in a sac bunt situation like that, with a left-handed pitcher on the mound, the third baseman is more likely to stay back and give that pitcher an opportunity to field the bunt. With a right-hander on the mound who maybe falls to the first base side, that's when you have to be a little more aggressive as a third baseman. But Zimmerman very aggressive that entire at bat.
The Nationals will have their corner infielders in. Johnson more so than Zimmerman. They are back up the middle, so it's right there in front of Reed Johnson.
A good aggressive swing that time by Reed Johnson, because that pitch was up in the strike zone, up above the belt. And in this situation, he's looking for a pitch he can either drive through the infield or lift in the air to the outfield and get that runner home from third base. That's what you talk about, having a game plan when you leave the on-deck circle. I'm going to make him get the ball up. Unfortunately, he fouled it straight back.
And now he's in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, now all bets are off. Just go to battle right here. I mean, even a ground ball to the middle infielders would score an easy run right here. Just keep it away from the pitcher in the corners.
Lannon on an 0-2, just foul wide of third. Cardinals are off tonight. Milwaukee is in Cincinnati. We'll keep you posted as the second half gets underway for a few teams around baseball. Hit foul. Braden Looper and Homer Bailey going at it at Great American Ballpark, and they are scoreless in the top of the second. Another 0-2 pitch, and Johnson went. Again, Paul Emmel made that call. He's made a couple of those calls from behind home plate on a checked swing. And that's a big strikeout for Lannon. 2 outs in the inning.
On a bounced breaking ball, started at the bottom of the strike zone and then just fell into the dirt in front of home plate. Reed tried to check his swing, but in the eyes of Paul Emmel, he went too far.
Zimmerman even with a bag at third, inside out swing, foul as Terrio about a foot away from giving the Cubs the lead.
Line drives down the line like that. I always watch the hitter because he knows better than anybody else how much slice is on that ball, how close it is to the foul line. You see Terrio took about 3 or 4 steps. He knows it's not going to stay in play.
Tried it again. As we look in on the Menards Big Lumber stat, 8-gamer for Terrio on the season. 32 multi-hit games. He's in the top 5 in the National League. He's tied with the National shortstop Christian Guzman, also with 32. Been an interesting year for Ryan Terrio at the plate. Got off to a good start, hitting the ball the other way, but his manager talked to him about occasionally turning on one, and we saw him hit some home runs, but he kind of got away from what he does best. Now he seems to be settling in, and he turns on this ball, and the Cubs will jump out in front as Hill scores, and Terrio has a 2-out double. Man, you love those 2-out RBI hits.
And you love taking advantage of the opposing team's miscues defensively. This all got started with Ryan Zimmerman throwing away Coy Hill's routine grounder to third, and with 2 outs, Ryan Theriot goes down and golfs a breaking ball into the left field corner, not only to drive in a run, but to put himself in scoring position.
Fastball strike to Milton Bradley. He flied to right in the first inning. Well, he was incredibly patient on the last homestand. He walked 11 times. Lannon's 1-1, low and away. 2 balls and a strike. And I think, Bob, for that reason, the 2 or the 3 spot, I think works well for Bradley right now in front of Derek Lee. Because he has gotten on base so much, we haven't seen him hit for a ton of power. But you want as many guys on as possible with the way Derek Lee's been swinging the bat.
Yeah, I don't think when Milton Bradley was originally signed to come to the Cubs, he was viewed as a table setter, but hey, whatever works.
Popped into right. Willingham comes over, and he makes a catch just in fair territory to end the threat. But the Cubs grab the lead with an unearned run, helped out by an error from Ryan Zimmerman. Ryan Theriot makes it 1-0.
Rocking performance, exceptional control. Destination tires with Unity technology, only from Firestone.
During the Autobahn for All event, you can get great lease deals. I love it. I just want to know it's the right move. Me? 13 days in the future. You get a deal on a car you've always wanted, scheduled maintenance is included, it's all good. What's the future like? You love your new Jetta. And the suit? You like it? Nah, I love it.
Now during the Autobahn for All event, lease a 2009 Jetta S for just $179 a month. Hurry in before your future Volkswagen is history.
To be your drum, so all beats well for you, and be your light, shining always true blue.
For generations, more families have set out upon new journeys with the confidence that Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois will continue to be there for all the memories yet to come.
Shining always true blue.
Hi, I'm Dan Jenkins.
And I'm Mike North.
Friday on the Monsters in the Morning, we'll recap the Cubs and Nationals as the second half gets underway.
Plus, Jonathan Tays of the Blackhawks joins us live in studio as well as comedian Jim Norton. Wake up with us Friday on Comcast Sportsnet.
Back here in Washington, D.C., going to be a hot weekend, going to be a hot trip. We'll end up in Philadelphia. And the Cubs will get used to having their suitcases packed. 17 of their first 23 to start the second half will be away from Wrigley Field. That's why that 11-game homestand was so big. And the Cubs survived. They were okay, 6-5. But I think ultimately disappointed losing 2 of 3 to Atlanta in between those 2 big series, the Brewers and the Cardinals. 1 ball, no strikes on Josh Bard, switch hitting catcher. Jesus Flores is on the disabled list with a shoulder injury, and he's going to be out a while. He may not be back. Has a stress fracture in his shoulder. The inside corner strike. It's 1-2 on Bard. Alberto Gonzalez, and then the pitcher John Lannon to follow. Bard Menard hitting .333 over his last 25 games. Way spread out. Knees bent. And the fastball is low, 2-2. The Nationals with the worst record in baseball. They lost 10 of 13 right before Manny Acta got fired. This is a team that began the year 0-7, so they've been behind the 8 ball pretty much throughout. Baker backing up almost right into Milton Bradley, and Jeff makes a catch. Time now for the Cabot Woodstein legendary performance on this date. 6 years ago, 2003, the great Minnie Minoso becomes the first player to play pro ball in 7 decades.
Oh, wow.
When he walks in the first inning as the DH for the Northern League's St. Paul Saints as they play Gary. Minoso currently works in the White Sox Community Relations Department. Our Cabot Woodstein legendary performance.
7 decades, 7 different decades. Some guys are happy to get 7 days in the big leagues.
Manny Minoso made his major league debut with the Indians in 1949. 2-0 the count. The second baseman Gonzalez. The pitch. Downstairs. 3-0. The pitcher's on deck. Harden has not yet worked from the stretch. Last pitched 6 days ago against St. Louis and suffered an 8-3 loss. Actually was better at the plate than he was on the mound. He had 2 hits. He's looked a lot better early on tonight than the last 2 times out. And into the right field corner. That's their first hit. Gonzalez will end up with at least a double. Bradley having trouble with it. He is on his way now to third, and he'll get there with a triple. Second triple of the year for Alberto Gonzalez. And the Nationals now threatening. Runner 90 feet away with 1 out.
Really nice piece of hitting that time by Gonzalez. Had a fastball out over the plate and stayed right on it. Drove it down into that right field corner. Milton Bradley had some problems as he got down into that corner. That ball bouncing around, got away from him briefly, and with Gonzalez's speed, that's all he needed to turn the corner at second and slide into third safely with a triple.
So here's the pitcher, Lannon. The infield is in. Lannon 4 for 30 with a double. Fastball low, ball 1.
I don't really know enough about Jim Riggleman's managerial style to know whether to anticipate a potential squeeze bunt in this situation, but it's something you always have to keep in the back of your mind with a pitcher at the plate. Does he have a better chance of getting that runner home from third base by executing a bunt, or does he have a better chance by swinging the bat? And Jim Riggleman will probably have to learn as the season goes on, even though he was the bench coach. It's a whole different story when you're the manager and you call for those signs.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. Harden needs a strikeout. He has 2 already. Lannon's just trying to find a way to make contact. And he does, and he hits it foul. Well, these are the kinds of at-bats where you don't want any contact, because bad contact here sometimes can end up over a drawn-in infielder's head. Off the plate inside.
Or between the drawn-in infielders. Their range is way cut down because they are playing so shallow. So, yeah, you'd like to see a swing and a miss or a called third strike right here, as opposed to letting Lannon put the ball in play anywhere.
And he struck him out. 95 on the Heat. So 2 outs in the inning.
On Monday, July 27th, the Cubs host the Astros at Wrigley Field. Game time is 7:05, but as always, be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs luggage tag, compliments of United.
Not out of the woods yet. It's Nyjer Morgan. The cornermen still in, even with 2 outs, because of Morgan's blazing speed. Called strike.
Not only the cornermen drawn in anticipation of a possible bunt, but even the middle infielders, Jeff Baker and Ryan Theriot, probably playing 2 or 3 steps more shallow than they normally would because of Nyjer Morgan's speed.
Well, just because Morgan's wearing a new uniform, he didn't change his style. Got the old school pant bottoms hiked just below the kneecaps. Real stirrups. Batting gloves hanging out of the front pocket.
No, those are sliding gloves. He's got his batting gloves on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pokes it foul. He looks like a baseball player, doesn't he?
Well, there's no question about it. And we've seen plenty of Nyjer Morgan in his time with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He likes to get involved. Usually at the end of the day, that uniform will be covered with dirt front and back.
Another foul. Nationals have gotten good production out of the 2 guys they got in that 4-player deal with the Pirates. Morgan batting over 300 since coming over, and left-hander Sean Burnett has done a nice job out of their bullpen as well. Low and inside, 1-2.
Partner, just to put your mind at ease tonight, I'll take any pop-ups we happen to get up here in the booth.
Oh, I appreciate that. Fat chance we're going to get an opportunity. A bouncer to Baker. Van Harden will get out of the inning. So the Nationals get their first hit. A 1-out triple, but they fail to score. Tell you what, partner, any comments that fly by the booth you can catch. 1-0 Cubs after 3.
Cold refreshment is an unstoppable force. Because every Coors Light can is cold activated. When the mountains turn blue, your beer is as cold as the Rockies. The Coors Light cold activated can. Enjoy refreshment at its peak. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
After battling the elements for 128 years, our wood stains can handle pretty much anything. Cabot, our performance is legendary.
%75% of all the vehicles we've ever sold in this country are still on the road. Now that's a long-term investment. Range Rover, the luxury that's more than a luxury. For special deals, visit a Land Rover Center today.
Tomorrow, Derek Lee and the Cubs hope to raise a W on the Capitol as they take on the Nationals in D.C., followed by Lowe's Cubs post-game live. Join Len and Bob for Cubs Nationals tomorrow at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Welcome back to D.C. Derek Lee takes a breaking ball low. Great to be back with you after a 3-day All-Star break. Partner, hope you had a good one. I know you did some fishing, caught some Peoria Chiefs minor league action. And you're rested and raring to go.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, when you watch baseball every day for a living, what do you do on your vacation? You go watch ball games. Got to see the Chiefs play 5 times. The weather was great. Met a lot of wonderful people down in Peoria. Rocky Van Naken and Ralph Converse from the Chiefs. Everybody that worked around O'Brien Field there in Peoria couldn't have made us more comfortable. And we caught a few fish.
And fouled off by D. Lee. 3-2.
And I've got the pictures to prove it, but unfortunately I didn't bring them on this road trip. So at some point in the future, I'll show you some of the whoppers we caught.
Well, it sounds good. You made me hungry talking about all the bass you caught. And we want to thank former Cub Keith Moreland for filling in for you for a couple of games last weekend. Keith did an excellent job, and he's working radio on this trip with Pat Hughes and Judge Surratt. Matt Bolt's over there in the radio booth, and we know Ron Santo's watching. That's into the corner. Fair ball for Derek Lee. He might try for three as Willingham picks it up. Nope, Derek's going to stop at second base with a leadoff double. So he's 1 for 2. He's hit the ball hard both times up. And we want to wish Ron Santo a quick recovery. He's been battling a kidney infection, but I think he's doing better. He's just not quite 100%. So Ron, get well soon. We'll see you back home next week.
Boy, Derek dropped that line drive right on the chalk down in the right field corner. Willingham a little slow getting to the ball. Derek had thoughts about going for third, but with nobody out in the inning, you have to make sure you can get to third base standing up, and Derek wasn't sure if he could make it standing up, so he wisely held at second.
Now Ramos missed that pitch, but that's a swing that you actually like to see because he's airing it out and he's not wincing. I don't think there's any question he's not 100%. It may not be the rest of the season, but that doesn't mean he can't help this team make that playoff push for the third straight season. The 1-1 pitch fouled back. He's had a couple of good rips at Lannon in this at bat. Walked his first time up. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, the thing about Aramis Ramirez, whether he's at 100% or not, opposing pitchers pitch to him like he is at 100%. They don't ever take Aramis for granted, and that's what his presence in the lineup means to this Cubs offense. Pitchers really have to grind every at bat against Ramirez, especially with runners in scoring position.
Mark O'Neill, the Cubs head athletic trainer, was a part of the National League's all-star staff. Had a great time at St. Louis. Took his whole family to St. Louis, where he used to work with the Cardinals. And Ted Lilly said he had a good time as well, even though he did not appear in the game, and he was heartily booed by the Cardinal faithful, which I think he knew was coming. Fouled at the plate. Still 2-2 on Ramirez.
That just means that he's done well against their team, and I take that as a sign of respect. When you get booed on the road at an all-star game, that means you've done something against their team.
Long look by the left-hander Lannon. Here's a pitch. Ramirez laid off a fastball that was low. 3-2.
You know, Len, you talked about Aramis airing it out, not really holding anything back on his swing. The check swings are the ones that are probably a little more concerning. When he gets that bat started and then realizes the pitch is going to be out of the zone and tries to stop his swing, that might cause him more discomfort than the big swing and miss.
The 3-2 is popped into short center, and Morgan will haul it in with Lee holding at second base, 1 out. Well, as we get you set for tonight's Aflac trivia question, Adam Dunn with 40 homers in 5 straight years, including exactly 40 the last 4 seasons. Former Cubs Sammy Sosa on that list. And we'll get you the Aflac trivia question coming up here in a moment. to Soriano's up and in. We've seen some more base hits from Soriano lately, but not the home run power. It's been over a month since he last hit a home run. June 7th. Swing and a miss. Hit 265 on the homestand going into the break. But only 2 home runs over his last 44 games. And while it's not all about hitting home runs, I think Soriano's different than most guys because a lot of his offensive value does come from the home run power. We've talked about it ad nauseum, but he's not a guy who's going to walk a lot. And Bob, even more so now that he's batting 6th, you need that power.
Absolutely, you need that power from Alfonso Soriano. He doesn't take the base on balls very often. He's not a strong defender in left field, and he rarely steals a base anymore, so you need him to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Pitch, base hit center field. Derek Lee coming around third. He's going to stop there per Mike Quaddy's instructions, and now Soriano caught in a rundown. We'll see if Derek tries to go. He won't, and Soriano is gunned down at first.
Boy, not only that, looked like he jammed his finger into the bag down there at first base as he went in head first, trying to get back underneath the throw. I could tell you what Alfonso was looking at that made him think he could turn the corner and go on to second base right there. Niger Morgan's throw is over the cutoff man, but you could see Josh Bard realize Derek Lee was stopping at third, so he came all the way out into the middle of the infield to field that throw from center field. Yeah, perhaps that was it. The ball sailed over the cutoff man, but it helps if you know where every player on the field is and not just one guy.
And Soriano nailed 8-2-6-4. So Niger Morgan has 10 outfield assists, and we hope Soriano's all right after diving back into the bag. Willingham is under it to retire Baker, and just like that, the inning is over. Well, it looked promising there for a short bit, but it's 1-0 Cubs.
Hope he has that insurance. You really need these days.
How come?
Well, if you're hurt and can't work, it pays you cash.
Yeah, to help with everyday bills.
Like gas, the mortgage.
And groceries!
It's like insurance for daily living. Mm-hmm.
So what's it called?
Aflac! Oh, yeah.
Aflac, we've got you under our wing.
These two here, guys. It's all good, man. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. You know what? Follow me.
There you go, guys. Enjoy the game.
Heineken Light, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hey, guys. Can you pass me one? Please?
Heineken Light. Give yourself a good name.
Right now, buying a Toyota makes more sense than ever. You get the quality you can depend on. You can take advantage of unprecedented selection, and now you can get 0% financing on your favorite Toyota models. Like 0% financing plus $750 bonus cash on Camry, or 0% financing and $500 bonus cash on Corolla, or get 0% financing on a RAV4. Where can you find great cars, great leases, and great deals? Your Toyota dealer.
So once again, 40 homers in 5 straight years. That's a pretty impressive list. Bunch of Hall of Famers on that list. Is done with 23 home runs after the first half. Aflac! Let's check in on the Aflac trivia question. How many players went on to have 6 consecutive 40 homer campaigns? We'll get the answer coming up. Outside on Nick Johnson. Bottom 4, 1-0 Cubs. Johnson flied to center his first time to Reed Johnson. Bounces to Derek Lee, who retires a fellow Sacramento native, Nick Johnson. 1 out. Let's get the answer to the Aflac trivia question. So now the list of 6 straight 40-homer guys. Babe Ruth, A-Rod, and Sammy. Jim Riggleman got a look at a couple of those years. Knee-high strike on Zimmerman, who had a 30-game hitting streak earlier this season, longest in the majors here in 2009. Harden's 0-1 is outside. 1-1. Well, the numbers would tell you that Rich Harden should have a good game tonight. He's been better on the road than at home. 5 runs better in terms of his ERA. And it's almost about the same in terms of pitching at night versus the daytime. He has a .287 night ERA. It's 7.38 during the daytime. Now, you remember last year when Ned Yost, before he got fired, he very briefly tried the platoon. Remember that? Seth McClung and Dave Bush. Wasn't it a home road platoon?
Yeah.
At what point, as you think about being a manager and you look at a guy's splits, either night and day or road and home, would you try to avoid certain situations for a guy like Rich Harden?
I'm sure it probably got to the point where, as a manager, when you filled that name in on the lineup card in the 9 spot, you didn't think you had a chance to win a ball game. It's time to make some kind of a switch. I think back to my playing days, there was a left-handed pitcher named Dave LaPointe who pitched so poorly at Wrigley Field that Whitey Herzog just stopped throwing him at Wrigley. Former teammate of mine, Ed Whitson, went to the New York Yankees and struggled so badly at home in the Bronx, they just stopped pitching him in New York. I mean, fortunately, I never got to that point with anybody, but there is a point somewhere where you have to draw the line and say enough is enough.
1-0 on Adam Dunn. The Cubs leading by just 1, so every time Dunn comes up, certainly is a threat to tie it with one big swing. This ballpark, you know, it's only the 2nd year of this park, and statistically this year it hasn't been a very good home run park. It's certainly nothing like his old home stadium in Cincinnati. Swing and a miss, but I think just about any park in baseball, except for maybe Seattle, has to be a better offensive park than RFK, which was a big-time pitcher's ballpark.
Now, this ballpark doesn't look extraordinarily big, but it plays big for some reason. Maybe there's a lot of moisture in the air. There's a lot of water surrounding the ballpark here. 402 to straightaway center, 335 down the right field line, 336 to left, 377 to the gap in left center field, and then you have the visiting scoreboard in right center. But we're just watching batting practice today. A lot of guys were struggling to hit the ball out of here.
Called strike 3, so Dunn is fanned twice, that time of the looking variety, and Rich Harden with 3 1-2-3 innings over the first 4. It's 1-0 Cubs.
Auto Week raves. Toyota Camry is a perfectly boring automobile. Car and driver gushes. It's dull as dishwater. Good thing quality doesn't have to be boring. Nissan Altima undergoes over 5,000 quality tests and beats Toyota Camry in horsepower without sacrificing fuel efficiency. Some also say it's a whole lot of fun. Get Altima now for as little as $13,900 with government voucher. Look closer. Nissan delivers.
Swing into Mulligan's Valley Pub for fun times and a great atmosphere. Kick back, sample the incredible drink selections and our daily specials. Watch your favorite teams and sporting events on our flat screen TVs or sit out on the patio with a view of Valley Falls Golf Course. Come see us on Taco Tuesday. Your donations directed to local charities and people in need. Live music on Saturdays. Visit our website, mulligansvalleypub.com. Get your Irish on in Cove Valley.
At Mulligan's Valley Pub.
How can a 94-year-old green guy save you money during the recession? He can check out your comfort system for free and tell you how to save money on energy efficiency. J.L. Brady has been offering the best HVAC service in Iowa and Illinois since 1915, and they can show you how to go green and save up to 30% on heating and cooling expenses. A system like that could pay for itself in less than 2 years. They're family-owned, and after all these years, still doing it the Brady way, the right way.
Luke Stuckmeyer here. Don't forget to check out my Cubs blog, Bricks and Ivy, at csnchicago.com, brought to you by Toshiba.
Cubs batting in the top of the fifth, 8-9-1. Starting with Coy Hill. Ball one. Well, while we are on top of the world here, highest press box in pro sports, is Hill is going to ground out to the shortstop Guzman. There's one advantage to this press box, Bob. The restroom is not 6 miles away like it was at RFK Stadium. Yeah, we are way up here. We are so high up here at Nationals Park. Adam Dunn looks like a normal-sized human being.
Yeah, the planes
perch
that are landing over at Reagan Airport go below us. I see the flags moving. There's some breeze blowing somewhere, but we're too high. We're above the jet stream here.
One strike on Rich Harden, who's working with a 1-0 lead. Cubs made a move today. They signed former closer, left-hander B.J. Ryan, to a minor league contract. He's going to report to Mesa, Cubs rookie team, on Sunday, and then as he reworks or gets his delivery figured out with Mark Riggins, Cubs minor league pitching coordinator, he will then go to Iowa. And if he continues to progress, he'll end up possibly in the major leagues. Finished in the top 7 in saves in the American League 3 of the last 4 years, but released by the Blue Jays, struggling this season. Low risk. It's worth taking a chance, certainly, on B.J. Ryan. The former All-Star, as Harden grounds out to second, 2 gone.
Well, and if he's able to return anything near the form that he had a couple of years ago up in Toronto, what a great addition that will be. Not only giving you a guy who has closed games in his career, you have a guy moving from the American League to the National League. That's usually worth something, and also it gives you that second lefty in the bullpen, depending on what the Cubs choose to do with Sean Marshall.
One strike on Johnson. Ryan, a 2-time All-Star. Into right and a base hit right in front of Josh Willingham. So Reed Johnson keeps the Cubs alive here in the 5th. Cubs Destinations, a preferred baseball road trip provider of the team, provides fans with the most unique VIP road trip experience available. Each package includes great tickets, first-class hotel accommodations, a tour of the ballpark, and a private meet and greet with a current Cubs player. For more information, visit Cubs.com. Terrio again trying to shoot that ball the other way. He did that a couple of times in his second at bat. Eventually turned on a pitch and doubled home a run to give the Cubs this 1-0 lead.
By my unofficial tally, that was the 8th ball the Reed Johnson's base hit into right hit that direction in this game. 3 for base hits, 5 for outs. So Cubs have a good approach against Atlanta, trying to sink that fastball away from them. They're staying on it and driving it to the opposite field.
off the outside corner to make it 0-2. Lannon was born in Long Beach, New York. He attended Siena College and went in the 11th round of the 2005 draft. 9-15 last year, but his ERA was under 4. Quite a memorable major league debut in Philadelphia in 2007. He got ejected in the 5th inning after hitting Chase Utley and Ryan Howard in consecutive at-bats. Got kicked out of his first major league game, and the Nationals were rightly furious about it. But the home plate umpire that night, Hunter Wendelstedt, deemed Lannon should be thrown out, connecting the Howard hit by pitch with his previous at-bat, during which he hit a home run. I guess Howard admired it a little bit, so Wendelstedt put 2 and 2 together and thought Lannon was throwing at him, I guess.
Well, if he stood at home plate and admired his home run a little bit too long, I'd add 2 and 2 and say, well, he deserved it.
One bouncer to Gonzalez. Easy play. Inning over. 2-out single by Reed Johnson. No runs. We're halfway home in the second half opener. It's the Cubs 1, the Nationals nothing.
Miller Genuine Drive, cold filtered, never heat pasteurized, delivering unmistakable, fresh from the tap taste. Anywhere, every time.
Plan your next corporate or social function in one of Wrigley Field's private party accommodations. Wrigley Field offers a variety of private catered opportunities to host and impress your group. The Mezzanine Suites presented by Nuveen Investments has 4 convenient rental plans to fit all budgets and needs. For larger parties of 75 to 100, the Bud Light Batter's Eye, located in center field, provides a unique view of the game. All private party accommodations provide generous food and beverage packages, as well as VIP parking. Call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com.
My lottery dream. Well, why are you here? My ticket didn't win. I got a second chance. You can win 35 grand every weekday this summer with old tickets. I have old tickets. I know. I love those pants. You don't think they're too much?
The Second Chance Summer. Bring back your tickets. Bring back your dreams.
Miller Genuine Drive, cold filtered, never heat pasteurized, delivering unmistakable, fresh from the tap taste. Anywhere, every time.
Hi everyone, Gail Fisher with this Sports Night update. Join us for Sports Night tonight at 10 o'clock. The Blackhawks introduce their 2 newest players, Marian Hossa and Thomas Kopetsky, to the media. Plus, Alex Brown talks about the Bears' upcoming training camp and highlights from the opening round of the British Open. That's tonight on Sports Night, but now more Cubs baseball with Len and Bob.
Gail, thank you very much. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Rich Harden dealing tonight as he goes at Josh Willingham. And nice night for baseball here, and it would be a good night to get the Cubs back over 500. They're at 500 for the 20th time already this year.
Well, and we talked about it earlier, Len. You never take anybody for granted, regardless of their record or who the opposing pitcher is on a given night. But the truth of the matter is the Cubs need to beat up on this Nationals team. This is a ball club that's going in a million different directions. They trying their second manager of the season, a lot of underperforming veterans. You know, this is a series that you get the feeling going in the Cubs have to win at least 3 of the 4 games.
Second straight year, Jim Riggleman has taken over mid-season as an interim manager. He did it last year in Seattle. 2-2 on Willingham. Now Riggleman was the bench coach, and with him now getting promoted to the manager's seat, Pat Corrales is back as their bench coach. He was in their front office earlier this year, but last couple of years had been on the bench with Manny Acta. Derek Lee grabs out number 1. think Manny Acta will manage again? He's a young guy. Everybody said he was calm. Maybe in some cases too calm for this team that maybe needed a kick in the rear end every once in a while. But I have a feeling Manny Acta will manage once again.
Well, I saw some highlights of Nationals games earlier this season, and Jim Riggleman referred to it in his press conference when he was introduced to the local media. Everybody makes mistakes. But the key is to hustle after the ball after you've made a mistake, and he felt that this ball club was lacking that urgency. They'd make a mistake. Oh, well, I kicked one. Big deal. They would jog after the ball, and in the meantime, the guy that hit the ball is streaking around the bases. So there's a lot of Band-Aids to be put on this Nationals ball club if they expect to be competitive in the second half.
1-2 on Guzman with Bard on deck. Rich Harden's given up one hit all night. That was a one-out triple to the 8-hitter Alberto Gonzalez in the third inning, but Harden got out of it with no damage. Saw Ryan Dempster throwing off flat ground in the outfield as he's coming back from the broken right big toe. So he's progressing well. Lou indicated he might only have to miss one turn here out of the break. And if Ryan had his way, he'd be back in there tomorrow night. I think the big issue for Mark O'Neill and Ed Halber is just to try to slow down the process. But you'd rather have a guy like Ryan Dempster, though, who's pushing his way back and slow him down than the other way around. Just missed 3-2.
And we talked about this earlier, Len. The biggest concern is that Ryan Dempster tries to come back too soon, starts favoring that right foot, which is a right-handed pitcher, is his push-off foot off the rubber, and now it transfers that strain somewhere else. The lower back, the hip, the shoulder, the elbow, and that is definitely not a good situation. So you just want to make sure that there is no problem whatsoever with that right foot before you clear him to come back and pitch.
That caught the outside corner on a borderline pitch. 6 strikeouts for Harden.
Well, the overall numbers very impressive so far for Rich Harden tonight, but the most impressive thing for me is his ability to command that fastball. We've seen him in this inning try to go away. He painted the corner right there on Christian Guzman. Tried to go up high in the sequence earlier. Was able to hit Coy Hill's glove up above the letters. I think that's going to be the key to his second half of the season. The ability to command that fastball up, down, in, out to set up his secondary pitch, that changeup.
The 1-0 to Bard. I guess it did hit him. So he's on with 2 outs.
That appeared to be just an overthrown changeup that time at 89 miles an hour. Ball hits a good 5 feet out in front of the left-handed batter's box and clips him on the left knee on a hop.
Gonzalez tripled into the right field corner his first time up. He has their only hit to this point. Jamie Moyer supported by a couple of Raul Ibanez home runs tonight as the Phillies lead the Florida Marlins in Miami 3-0. They're in the bottom of the 5th at Land Shark Stadium. Through the hole on the left side, and Gonzalez is 2 for 2. Sunday, August 9th, minor league excitement returns to Wrigley Field with the second annual Road to Wrigley presented by National City, now part of PNC. Get ready for a day of fun featuring Berserk and the Wacky Superstars. Don't miss the action as the Iowa Cubs take on the Las Vegas 51s at Wrigley Field. Order your tickets today at Cubs.com. Well, big concert tonight, right? Elton John, Billy Joel. We have Rascal Flatts this weekend. And then John and Joel again early next week. They actually were here at Nationals Park over the weekend. I noticed the grass is pretty worn out in center. And there's a ball into the hole. Nice play by Terrio as he gets it to Baker in time at second, and that ends the inning. Lannon bidding to tie the ball game, but Terrio with a nice pick. 1-0 Cubs after 5.
Our 737s fly to over 65 cities across the country every day. Each with an average speed of 590 miles per hour. Almost as fast as you. Nothing's going to hold you down. Starting August 16th, fly Southwest Airlines from Chicago Midway to Boston Logan for just $89 one way. Bags fly free on Southwest, so our low fares stay low. Grab your bag. It's on. Book now at Southwest.com.
Technology can hold you back or set you free. Toshiba, the laptop expert, designs laptops to work the way you do.
In uncertain times, we could all use a little certainty, especially at the pump. So now Hyundai Assurance helps with something else. Gas. A whole year's worth for just $1.49. Buy select new sedans and you'll pay just $1.49 a gallon at 9 out of 10 gas stations nationwide. Plus, in a new Sonata, you'll get up to 32 miles per gallon for even greater gas savings.
Lock in $1.49 a gallon today. Brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers.
Tomorrow, Derek Lee and the Cubs hope to raise a W on the Capitol as they take on the Nationals in D.C., followed by Lowe's Cubs post-game live. Join Len and Bob for Cubs Nationals tomorrow at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Tomorrow night, Derek Lee and the Cubs look for a big road win when they battle Adam Dunn and the Nationals here in our nation's capital. Don't miss the Cubs and Nats tomorrow night at 6 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Well, we just found out the Nationals had to scratch left-hander Scott Olson from tomorrow night's start with tightness in his left lat. So it'll be right-hander Craig Stammen against Carlos Zambrano. Foul tip, strike one. Milton Bradley is flying out to right both times. And Guzman with a nice pick. Spins, throws, and plenty of time. Nice play by Guzman on a ball that was struck very hard by Bradley.
Hey, can't do anything more than that. If you're Milton Bradley, got a good pitch to hit it hard on a hop. Guzman just makes a nice play, a couple steps to his left, a strong throw on to Johnson for the out.
Lee takes it low. Milwaukee leading Cincinnati 3-2. All 5 runs coming in the third inning. So the Brewers with 3 in the top of the third, and the Reds answered back with 2. They're now in the 5th. Prince Fielder hit a 3-run homer, and then Joey Votto a 2-run shot. Prince Fielder won the home run derby in St. Louis. Crushed foul. Derek bothered by some neck spasms right at the end of the last homestand, but feeling good as we start the second half. I think the break came at a good time for him. Even though he was in a hot streak, he Hit 5 homers and knocked in 16 on the 11-game homestand. That's wide of third.
Well, this is as quick a bat as we've seen Derek Lee swing probably in the last 2 or 3 years. He's getting to those fastballs on the inside corner, not only getting to them, but getting the barrel of the bat on the ball and hitting him hard, pulling the ball in the air to left field. I mean, he's so adept at going to the opposite field because he gets pitched away so much. But in the past, teams were able to sneak that fastball by him on the inside corner, and he either put it into play weakly because he got jammed or he took the pitch for a called strike.
Clubs that one deep the other way, and it will go! A laser home run. That ball got out in a big-time hurry over the 12-foot wall in right center. It's 2-0. That's his 18th home run.
Well, I love the approach by the Cubs hitters tonight. Our Heineken home run replay, a fastball out over the plate, up and down the lineup. Every Cubs hitter conscious of going to the opposite field. If Lannon pitches them on the outer half of the plate, they've struck some balls really hard that way.
First career homer for Derek in this ballpark. In fact, if you look up and down the Cubs roster, he's the first player in that visiting dugout to hit a home run here. 21st career homer against the Expos/Nationals franchise. Ramirez is going to make it out as Morgan makes the play. 2 gone. For individual health insurance from a name you can trust, call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois at 866-575-BLUE. Are you going to head over to the Capitol building at all on this trip? Anything special planned?
I'll probably walk around it, you know. This is a great walking town. One of the best walking towns in the National League.
Great to see Senator Dick Durbin from the great state of Illinois here at the ballpark tonight, and join the panel on Chicago Tribune Live before we went on the air. Soriano grounds to Zimmerman, who slings it across for the out. Derek Lee with a 1-out opposite field home run, his second hit of the night. He continues to hit the ball hard to all fields, and the Cubs lead 2-0.
Since 1873, Coors Banquet has been brewed in one place and one place only, Golden, Colorado. It's followed one tradition: use the best high country barley and only Rocky Mountain water. And it's been brewed under one motto: never compromise. Now maybe this means we're a little set in our ways, but we know a few guys who'll drink to that. Coors, the banquet beer.
Sunday, it's a bird hunt on CSN as Jermaine Dye and the Sox fight off Brian Roberts and the Baltimore Orioles. Coverage begins with Felco White Sox pregame live. Join Hawk and Stoney for White Sox Orioles Sunday at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Why do people shop at K&K True Value Hardware?
I've been shopping at K&K for over 25 years, and what brings me here is the quality of the service, the staff.
There's always somebody that's greeting you with a hello, and they're so helpful.
With a variety of products here, I always walk out with what I need.
They are awesome when it comes to anything you need. K&K is the place to go.
Service with answers, that's the K&K way.
Come out to Valley Falls Adventure Golf for exciting and affordable fun for the whole family. Watch the kids explore the premier miniature golf course in the Quad Cities as you sit back on the patio at Happy Joe's and Rudy's Tacos. Or take a swing yourself. There's adventure at every turn at Valley Falls. We also offer birthday, charity, fundraising, and special events packages for miniature golf and Happy Joe's. Valley Falls Adventure Golf, one slice short of heaven. Located behind Happy Joe's and Rudy's Tacos in Coal Valley.
Derek Lee with a home run, making it 2-0, and Rich Harden has made it hold up. He's given up 2 hits and only 3 base runners through 5 innings. Top of the order now, Morgan, Johnson, and Zimmerman. There's the bunt by Morgan, and Ramirez is going to throw late. Morgan is so fast and so adept at laying down bunts, you can know it's coming and still not get him out. And that's what happened there. Leadoff single, first time the leadoff man has gotten on for the Nationals.
You know, some of the older Cub fans out there may remember Brett Butler. He was the same way. Even with the third baseman and first baseman drawn in, he could still deaden that ball in that thick infield grass and leg out a bunt base hit. You can see Ramirez started a good 5 or 6 feet in front of the bag at third, made a nice barehanded play, but just got it to first base too late.
So the tying run is at the dish. Morgan with a very healthy lead already. Not running, and Johnson takes a strike. I'll tell you, Nyjer Morgan, I'm sure loves having Nick Johnson behind him in the order. One of the most patient hitters in the game today, Nick Johnson. And for a base stealer like Morgan, that's a dream come true.
Little bit of a flinch that time as Harden snapped a throw over to first base. I'll tell you, in limited playing time, Coy Hill's done a really nice job throwing out attempted base stealers, 5 out of 11 on the season. He's going to have his hands full with Nyjer Morgan here, though.
Well, Johnson has taken 2 strikes, and you have to think, at least on one of those pitches, he thought maybe Morgan would run. He's not afraid to get down in the count. And now he's got to swing at anything close.
And that's why hitters are willing to take those pitches to get that runner into scoring position. Even if you only have 1 swing left in the at-bat, gives you an opportunity to possibly drive home a run from second base.
As a team, they don't run a whole lot. But again, Morgan's only been here for a couple of weeks. Still not running, and the pitch is low and inside. When Harden has missed with his fastball, by and large tonight, he's missed down and not up. Morgan goes this time. The pitch is a ball. The throw by Hill skips into center. Morgan on his way to third. Give him his 25th steal, and Coy Hill charged with his 2nd error of the season.
Coy really tried to rush that throw to second base because he had called for a changeup from Rich Harden. Anytime you call for an off-speed pitch as a catcher, you feel like you really have to hurry everything in your throw. Short hopped Ryan Theriot, who wasn't able to get leather on it, skips into center field, and Morgan will move all the way around to third base with nobody out in the inning.
Meanwhile, it's 2-2 on Johnson. I wonder if they're going to ask Morgan to tuck his shirt in. Good block by Hill. Morgan got halfway down the line.
Leave it out. He's less aerodynamic with his shirt untucked.
That's a good call. No, shielded by Pat Listache from our cameras. He's going to tuck that shirt in.
Boy, good block on a tough pitch. Anytime a ball hits that far out in front of home plate, anything you can do to keep it in that dirt area, you've done your job.
Cubs will concede a run here. They can get Johnson to ground out, but he's not going to on that swing. He lines it foul into the seats. And now Angel Guzman gets up as Harden nears 90 pitches on the night, working with a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th. Ground ball backhanded by Theriot. The throw goes over to first. Johnson gets an RBI, his 39th of the year, and it's 2-1. So they answer back after the Derek Lee home run. So base is empty, 1 out. That's a formidable duo, Bob, at the top of their lineup. If Morgan gets on base, you know he's going to run like he did, and then you have Nick Johnson, who will always give you a good at bat.
Very patient hitter. Makes solid contact, and leave the ballpark if you make a mistake throwing fastballs, trying to throw Nigel Morgan out at second base. You said it earlier, though. The big question for Nick Johnson has always been his ability to stay healthy, because when healthy, he puts up great numbers.
0-1 pitch to Zimmerman is low. Oh, before I forget, we're talking about President Obama, who threw out the ceremonial first pitch at the All-Star game wearing his White Sox jacket. I give him credit. Would have been easy for him to not show his loyalty to one particular team as Terriel throws across to get the out. But he also had blue jeans on and tennis shoes. And I saw this quote from Ichiro, who met the president in St. Louis. This is from MLB.com, and I thought you'd appreciate this. Speaking about the president, Ichiro Suzuki said, quote, "I realized after seeing him today that presidents wear jeans too. So my hope is that our skipper, Don Wakamatsu, was watching that, and we can wear jeans on our flights as well." Now, that's kind of an inside joke as they put on the big shift against Dunn, ball 1. But each team has a dress code in terms of the team charter flights. Some teams require sport coats, dress slacks, what have you. Lou is fairly relaxed in that department. And I know you are about as relaxed as any manager in baseball regarding team charter attire.
Yeah, my only rule was no sandals. I don't want to see your feet. No sandals, no sneakers, pretty much everything else goes. I mean, as you well know, Len, when you travel around the Major League Baseball team, so many times you're getting into a hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning. The only people you're going to run into is the maintenance crew that's cleaning up the hotel. Hey, you fly in and out of airports. The bus picks you up on the tarmac. You rarely see civilians when you travel as a Major League Baseball team. So I say, why not be comfortable?
Swing and a miss by Dunn. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So I know you were an Ichiro fan before that quote, but you probably like him a little more now, right?
Even more now.
Yeah. I knew you would.
Ichiro could get 250 hits wearing jeans.
Dunn has struck out all 3 times. The Nationals do get on the board, but the Cubs still lead this one 2-1 after 6.
Weeknights at 11, the Monsters take over Comcast Sportsnet's late night with a special 1-hour encore of Monsters in the Morning. Catch the very best interviews and hottest sports topics from the morning show. Monsters in the Morning Encore, weeknights at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Now entering soft scrub.
Take me, baby. Take me now. Take me, baby. Take me to the edge of explosion.
Now entering body buff.
I'm about to come
Axe Detailer Shower Tool. A soft black side, a rough red side.
So what else? Your 401k. Still over at your old job.
I guess I've been avoiding dealing with it.
Yeah, I get it. But do you really want your retirement money sitting over there?
I know. I guess the thought of dealing with those people...
Listen, I'll do the legwork. It's easy to roll it over. I've got some ideas for it, too.
Well, let's hear them.
Nearly 7 million investors already know the value of real attention. At Edward Jones.
Don't miss out on anything happening with your team. Visit CSNChicago.com for the biggest and best selection of videos, full-length press conferences, locker room reaction, and insider access you won't get anywhere else. CSNChicago.com, your hub for complete access to your favorite Chicago sports team.
After the game, stick around for Lowe's Cubs postgame live. Get highlights of all the action and analysis from Todd Hollandsworth. Don't miss Lowe's Cubs postgame live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Nice nice crowd here for Thursday night in Washington, D.C. As Jeff Baker grew up not too far from the district in Centerville, Maryland. The 0-1 from Lannon misses low. Off the plate inside, 1-1. In the hole, knocked down by Guzman, but he literally booted it. Might have hit his knee after it got out of his glove, and that's a base hit for Baker.
Not sure Guzman would have been able to get Baker at first base even if he comes up with it cleanly. Had the ball in his glove right there, and then as you said, when he tried to slide to stop his momentum, he kicked it with his knee. Got further away, Baker able to reach easily.
Bunted by Coy Hill. Zimmerman will get the out. Nicely done. It's a 5-4 sack bunt. And we're going to get a pinch hitter, Michael Hoffpower, for Rich Harden. Hey, July is National Hot Dog Month, and Harry Carey's Tavern at Sheffield and Addison is celebrating with the dog days of summer. This week's special is the Tail Wagyu the Dog, a Wagyu beef dog topped with balsamic glazed Vidalia sweet onions, sauteed wild mushrooms, and truffle oil. Visit harrycareys.com to learn more. Sounds good to me.
Sounds like a gourmet hot dog.
So Hoffpower batting for Harden. That's one of those deals where the 8-hitter bunts and you say, well, what? Oh, okay, you're going to pinch hit for the pitcher. That makes sense. Bounced foul. So you have lefty versus lefty here with Hoffpower in the pinch hit spot.
Now the right-handed bats available tonight for Lou Piniella, Andres Blanco, the switch hitter, and Jake Fox, of course, straight right-handed hitter. But as I mentioned earlier, against Lannon this year, lefties have actually hit for a much higher average and have more home runs than the right-handed hitters.
Jeff Baker at second base. Swing and a miss on a slider. Boy, very encouraging outing from Rich Harden tonight. 6 innings, 1 unearned run on just 3 hits. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 7. He was, I'm sure he'd tell you, he was just flat out awful his last 2 starts, but excellent tonight. Johnson, what a play. And he'll beat Hoffpower to the bag. 2 outs in the inning. Nick Johnson probably closed his eyes on that play, but he stabbed it and was able to get Hoffpower unassisted. Well, look at that. That's going into tonight, and that road ERA will go down from the 2.59.
Pretty remarkable splits. 5-run difference between his ERA at Wrigley and his ERA on the road.
Steve McCaddy, their pitching coach, he replaced Randy St. Clair earlier this season. They really don't have a general manager. Their assistant GM, Mike Rizzo, is handling the day-to-day GM duties after Jim Bowden resigned in spring training. So to say this Nationals team is in flux in terms of its leadership is a huge understatement. They have a right-hander, Jason Bergman, up in their bullpen. third, 2 outs. Here's a pitch to Reed Johnson, swinging away, base hit up the middle, 3-1. So Johnson, who did not come through in the third inning with less than 2 outs, does with 2 outs here in the 7th, and that's going to be it for John Lannon.
That ball is off the plate, away, belt high, but Reed Johnson able to get most of the barrel of the bat on it. Grounded cleanly into center field for an RBI.
It'll be right-hander Jason Bergman coming on for Lannon. Pitching change with 2 outs in the 7th, and we'll be right back.
In more places. AT&T, the best coverage worldwide. Get a Nokia E71X, the thinnest smartphone, for $99.99 after mail-in rebate.
1 minute, we were sitting on the couch just talking about it.
And then more and more people kept coming.
Graveyard to demonstrate a remarkable car polish. New Finish, the once-a-year car polish. Simply wipe it on and just wipe it off. It's that easy. And look, New Finish restored a deep, hard shine even to this weather-beaten car. We polished this car with New Finish and ran it through 52 car washes. Even after heavy-duty detergents and powerful scrubbing, the water still beads. So get New Finish.
Available at Pep Boys, Target, Ace, Walgreens, AutoZone, Walmart, and other leading stores.
It's Feltco's free installation sale on Feltco windows, siding, and doors. But hurry, offer ends July 31st.
Call 866 for Feltco.
On May 3rd, the Cubs retired the number 31 in honor of 2 of the greatest pitchers to ever wear a Cubs uniform, Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins and future Hall of Famer Greg Maddux. For a limited time only, Cub fans can purchase their very own commemorative painting of Jenkins and Maddux. Each painting is signed by the artist and individually numbered. Order yours today at Cubs.com.
Here's right-hander Jason Bergman, third big league stint with the Nationals this year. Recalled on July 4th. 4th game since coming up this time around from Syracuse. And he's facing Ryan Theriot. Reed Johnson just knocked in the Cubs' 3rd run of the night to chase lefty Lannon out of the game. That's a strike. Theriot extending his hitting streak to 9 with a 2-out RBI double in the 3rd inning. Strike 2, 1-2. Bergman has made 50 major league starts. But for the 63rd time in his major league career, he's pitching in relief. Bounced foul. You know, Bergman's from Neptune.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I thought he went to University of Saturn, but I guess not.
Well, I think that's what he drives. From Neptune, New Jersey.
Neptune, New Jersey. Very nice.
I'm sure he enjoys spring training games in Jupiter, Florida.
Oh, make it stop.
Big fan of Mars candy bars. I can keep going.
Oh, please don't.
Okay. Favorite song is Venus. Anyway, 1-2 pitch. That pops out of the mitt of the catcher, Bard, who didn't know where it was, and Johnson ends up at second base. I don't know if he happened to plan it that way. That's the last one, I promise.
Oh, hit right off the toe of the glove, popped straight up in the air. It looked like perhaps Bard thought that ball was going to come right back down to him. He ruled a wild pitch. Good pick up there by Reed Johnson to see that ball get behind Josh Bard.
Three and two. Oh, come on, partner. 4 days of pent-up off-air frustration to kind of spill out into the broadcast here in the 7th inning.
See, and I'd like to match you, but you don't leave me very many good planners to work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Swing and a miss. And we are here in Washington, D.C. A lot of wonderful monuments. The Iwo Jima statue, one of those great landmarks. 3-1 Cubs.
Connecting should be easy to do. So we're offering up to 5 LG UX300s free. Get the LG UX300 with access to MySpace and connect to the people you care about. US Cellular. Believe in something better.
Every drive can be broken down into millions of tiny moments. And in each of these moments, the LS is learning how you shift, how you accelerate. It's even learning body temperature, so that when each journey ends, the LS is a different car, one that's a little more educated about a subject called you. The Lexus LS.
Ideal Garage Doors offer exceptional durability and quality construction since 1963. They're trusted leaders in bringing homeowners the finest quality in residential doors. All Ideal Garage Doors are on sale at Menards. 5-star doors qualify for an energy tax credit, and they feature maintenance-free, pre-finished white steel inside and out. Get your Ideal Garage Door today. An 8x7-foot non-insulated door is just $189.
Save big money at Menards.
Why settle for free when there's freer? Other wireless carriers give you free calls on their networks. We give you free incoming calls, texts, and pics from any phone on any network. Also connect to family and friends with our national plans. US Cellular. Believe in something better.
Time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. Ryan Theriot helping out his club with a 2-out RBI double to give the Cubs the lead on an unearned run in the 3rd inning. And then Derek Lee with a solo homer in the 6th. Right now it's 3-1. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Andres Blanco comes into play second. And Angel Guzman will do the pitching.
This is the way Lou would draw it up. Obviously, you'd like to have a few more runs, give your pitchers a little bit more of a cushion, but Angel Guzman has slowly but surely worked his way into the rotation as the 7th inning guy, setting it up for Carlos Marmol in the 8th and Kevin Gregg in the 9th.
So he'll face Willingham, Christian Guzman, and Josh Bard. So you know how Lou would like to set it up after Guzman, Marmol in the 8th, Gregg in the 9th. You have Sean Marshall in case you want to use him against a lefty, and there are a lot of opportunities in this lineup, particularly at the top with Morgan and Johnson, and then Adam Dunn in that 4th spot.
Well, this may be Angel Guzman's biggest challenge. However long he works in this ball game, Josh Willingham is 2 for 2 lifetime with 2 home runs against Angel Guzman.
That is fair. Nicely done by Guzman. There are 2 choices there. Let it roll and hope it goes foul. or pick it up with one shot at tagging the batter/runner, and that's what he did.
It's always a dangerous play because it happens so quickly. You don't really have a good chance to secure that ball in your glove. The runner was right there on top of him. Fortunately, as Willingham went by and Guzman applied the tag, the ball did stay in the ball glove. If you have enough time to pick it up and get your bare hand around that baseball as you apply the tag, that's a much more sure out.
Going to get back to how this bullpen sets up tonight. I don't think Lou would hesitate to get Marshall up, even if Marmol starts the 8th with a 2 or maybe 3 or 4 run lead. With those lefties looming, and I say that because Carlos, even when he's had success, has had trouble walking people. And well, the 2 lefties that stand out in this lineup are Johnson and Dunn. And if Marmol is wild, they'll take their walks. In fact, Bob, you could almost make a case. It wouldn't be a terrible idea if you had to start with the top of their lineup in the 8th, either tonight or tomorrow. In a situation like this, you might just start with Marshall and have Marmol as the backup in that inning. And right on cue, Sean Marshall just took off his jacket, and I think he's going to get loose. Well, you got to love it when things on the field match what we're talking about. It's usually the other way around. Popped into left. That's what you want Guzman doing. If you're the opposing pitcher, hitting the ball in the air, and Soriano catches for the second out. Sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Only Vineline offers exclusive coverage from spring training all the way through the Cubs' next postseason run. Visit the Vineline blog at Cubs.com and order today. Outside on Bard, 95 on the fastball from Guzman. Went to spring training with Boston. Ended up leaving there and signing a minor league contract with the Nationals on March 21st. Got hit by a pitch that actually bounced in the dirt and then hit his back knee in the 5th inning. And as he sets up in the box, you'll notice where that left knee is. It's just barely off the inside corner of the plate.
Yeah, he hits out of that wide open stance. His left foot is very close to that inside line of the batter's box. The right foot is wide open down the first base line. He does close up as the pitcher delivers the ball, but your point is well made where that left knee is, almost into the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. Angel goes 1-2-3 in his first outing after the break. We'll head to the 8th. The Cubs lead by 2.
We're off. Woo! Something smells funny, and it ain't the ponies. Floppy hats at 10 o'clock. Closest to the track, but farthest from reality. Excuse me, sir. Pardon me, ma'am. Good, honest beer at a tasty price is neck and neck with hoity-toity atmosphere. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And y'all gonna find out today because you're about to lose this highlight. Woo, your head almost hit me in my face. We want to hand this out to the people really watching the race. It's a liberating landslide blowout victory for common sense.
This is the dedicated Feltco installation team, and right now they will install Feltco windows, siding, and doors free.
Hey, Dave, we're still getting paid for this, right?
Yeah, Jim, we talked about this.
It's Feltco's free installation sale on Feltco windows, siding, and doors.
It's Feltco's biggest sale of the year. But hurry, this offer ends July 31st.
Call 866 for Feltco.
During the Autobahn for All event, you can get great lease deals. I love it. I just want to know it's the right move. Me? 13 days in the future. You get a deal on a car you've always wanted, scheduled maintenance is included, it's all good. What's the future like? You love your new Jetta. And the suit? You like it? Nah, I love it.
Now during the Autobahn for All event, lease a 2009 Jetta S for just $179 a month. Hurry in before your future Volkswagen is history.
Time for the Mercedes attention assist of the game. Nice play by Ryan Theriot to retire John Lannon, getting that force out at second base to end the 5th inning. Bergman's still on. And facing Bradley, Leon Ramirez here in the 8th. That's high. Wouldn't mind adding another run or two. Rich Harden was fantastic tonight. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 unearned run. Bradley batting left-handed for the first time. This is out of play. Swinging away 3-0. We've seen him do that a lot this year, and I think every time he's done it, he's fouled it off. I cannot recall one 3-0 hit. Can you?
No.
Swing and a miss, 3-2.
And once again, the foul ball came to his off field on a 3-0, 3-1 count. If you're going to swing the bat and hit a foul ball, it should be a line drive foul to your pull field.
This is Morgan in center, 1 away.
Time for tonight's BMW Ultimate Drive of the game. Came off the bat of Derek Lee back in the 6th inning. A rocket line drive just over the barrier in straightaway right field.
Bergman came on and struck out Theriot to end the top of the 7th. Good swing by Lee, fouled it straight back, 1-1. That's a strike. 1-2. 26,980 inside Nationals Park tonight. A lot of Cub fans, as always, on the road. Knocked down by Zimmerman, and in foul ground, he's just going to eat it. And Derek is 3 out of 4 with a double, a homer, now an infield single.
You see how far off the line Zimmerman is playing. A couple of steps and a dive to knock the ball down. If he had his feet underneath him, he may have still had a play across the diamond, but he was kind of fading away into foul territory. It would have been an off-balance throw, so he decided just to hang on to it and concede the infield single.
Ramirez bounces to short. Guzman to second for 1. Relay and plenty of time. And they turn their first double play of the night. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Looks like Marmol's coming on with the Cubs leading 3-1.
Our 737s fly to over 65 cities across the country every day. Each with an average speed of 590 miles per hour. Almost as fast as you. Nothing nothing's going to hold you down. Starting August 16th, fly Southwest Airlines from Chicago Midway to Boston Logan for just $89 one way. Bags fly free on Southwest, so our low fares stay low. Grab your bag. It's on. Book now at southwest.com.
Oh, Subway flatbread sandwiches. Took Subway to make a flatbread sandwich great. They flooded the tubes and launched a flatbread-flavored torpedo right at your kisser. This sumptuous flatbread will sink your taste buds to delicious depths. Grab your floaties and try it with any Subway favorite, like the tempting chicken and bacon ranch, or our famous Italian BMT with pepperoni, salami, ham, and melted cheese. Hot, tasty, fresh toasted flatbread sandwiches. Subway. Eat fresh.
Save with 1.9% financing on select Porsche models at Porsche of the Quad Cities.
Hi everyone, Gail Fisher with this Toyota Sports Night update. The Blackhawks introduced their two newest players, Marian Hossa and Thomas Kopetsky, to the media. Plus, Alex Brown talks about the Bears' upcoming training camp. That's tonight on Sports Night. But now more Cubs baseball with Len and Bob in the nation's capital.
Gail, thank you. It's been a well-pitched game, really, on both sides, particularly from the Cubs end, with Harden going 6 strong, and then you had Guzman with a 1-2-3 7th. Now it's Carlos Marmol's turn. ERA is fine, but way too many walks, 1 per inning. But nobody hits this guy. Look at lefties hitting 121 against Marmol.
Well, and part of that is because of his delivery, which leads us right into tonight's Jimmy John's delivery. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. I mean, part of what makes Carlos Marmol so good out there on the mound and why nobody hits him is also part of what makes him so erratic and makes it so hard for him to consistently throw strikes. His delivery is very herky-jerky, not the ideal delivery that you would teach a young pitcher, but it's something that has worked very well for him, but occasionally has gotten him into trouble with the base on balls and the hit batsman.
Fastball strike.
Here's the Jimmy John's delivery I was talking about. Bends over at the waist. Kind of drops his arm down from a low 3/4 arm slot. His weight is carrying him toward the first base side of the mound, rather, as he releases the pitch. A lot of things that have to be just right in order for him to throw strikes consistently. Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys.
Cued off the end of the bat by Gonzalez, and he's retired for the first time, 3 unassisted. And Jim Riggleman was waiting to see what Gonzalez was going to do before calling on a pinch hitter, and it'll be veteran Ronnie Belliard. So Belliard bats for Bergman. The former Cub Julian Tavares warming up in the Nationals pen.
You know, Len, we highlight the Cubs offense an awful lot because it struggled so mightily in the first half of the season. We pointed out that several guys need to improve if the Cubs are going to have any chance of staying in the race in the second half of the season. The other side of the coin is, if Carlos Marmol pitches better in the second half of the season, a lot of those 1- or 2-run ball games that got away from the Cubs early in this season will go down in the victory column. So not to point fingers at individuals, but if Carlos Marmol and the rest of those guys in that bullpen can tighten it down a little bit in the second half of the season, make some of those short leads stand up, I think that's going to be just as important as some of the offensive players getting on track with the bats.
He's ahead of Belliard 0-2. Belliard's done this a lot. He's just 4 for 23 with 4 RBIs in the pinch. Marmol gets the sign from Coy Hill, and his 0-2 pitch. Hilliard flails at a slider off the plate. Coors Light freeze cam. Last time up, Niger Morgan with a bunt single. Ramirez was playing in, but it didn't matter.
Most of the talk surrounding trade rumors as we get close to the trading deadline will be for the Cubs to add a hitter or two. And once again, you look at the other side of the coin. If you're not going to score a lot of runs, just make sure the other team doesn't score either. So maybe pitching would be the way to go at the trade deadline if the Cubs have the flexibility to go out and add some players.
And if you missed it earlier, the Cubs did sign two-time All-Star left-hander B.J. Ryan, who struggled in Toronto before being released. They signed him to a minor league contract, and it's definitely an area, the left side in the bullpen, that Jim Hendry wanted to fortify. So maybe Ryan could be the answer to add to Sean Marshall, or possibly at some point even replace Marshall, who could go back into the starting rotation. But for me, Marshall's been so good in that spot, and statistically throughout his career has been better as a reliever than as a starter. I just as soon see him stay there, and that's not what Marmol wanted to do. He walks Morgan, and this is that exact situation we talked about in the 7th. Because now Morgan's on, and you have a patient Nick Johnson coming up. So Marmol easily gets the first two guys in the inning, but then lets Morgan off the hook. That's the first walk issued by Cubs pitchers tonight.
And I tend to agree with you, Len, with the idea of leaving Sean Marshall right where he is in that bullpen, even if B.J. Ryan comes up to the major leagues. How many times have we seen a ball game where in the 5th or 6th inning of the game you've got a couple of tough left-handed hitters in the middle of that lineup coming to the plate with runners in scoring position of a close game? To have a left-hander to come in there and get you out of that tough jam, and Sean Marshall has shown an amazing ability to get out of jams.
Oh man, Carlos Marmol just picked off Morgan. What a huge play that is, with a tying run at the plate. So Morgan nabbed at first base, and Marmol doesn't even have to retire Nick Johnson because he just threw out Morgan at first. That's a huge play. 3-1 to the 9th.
Hey Cubs fans, are you looking to get tickets to the hottest Cubs games this year? Visit Cubs.com and click on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Cubs.com. Don't miss all the fun and excitement at the friendly confines with StubHub. There's always a ticket available to a Cubs game.
When this hotel added Aflac to complement their benefits package, it made a big splash with the employees. Find out more at forbusiness.com.
Go beyond the box score with Cy Young Award winner Steve Stone.
I've said that the Cubs are going to win the division all along.
Watch Chicago Tribune Live and Sports Night Weekly for baseball insight from the man who played on both sides of town.
I believe in Kenny Williams' mind, every year is a year where you go after a championship. I've always said that anger is a luxury that a pitcher can't afford because it distorts your perceptions. That personifies Carlos Zambrano.
Steve Stone, every week on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
1 minute, we were sitting on the couch just talking about it.
And then more and more people kept coming.
It was insane. We were there.
Cub fans, get ready for an exciting finish. Brought to you by New Finish Cling Instant Detailer. Now enhance your car's shine between polishing with Cling.
Here's the Feldco Cubs upcoming schedule. 3 more here in Washington. We'll have game 2 tomorrow night right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Then it's off to the city of brotherly love. Off day next Thursday, and then the Reds come in a week from tomorrow. Former Cub Julian Tavares still going strong, 17 years in the majors.
Still tough on right-handed hitters, holding him to a 190 batting average.
Sinker slider guy. Missed on the slider. To Alfonso Soriano. 3-1 Cubs. Well, the play of the game might have been the pickoff of Niger Morgan by Carlos Marmol, with Nick Johnson representing the tying run at home plate. Swing and a miss on the slider, 1-2.
Well, he had his normal size lead. He didn't appear to be leaning towards second base. He just kind of jammed his right hand into the dirt as he tried to get back underneath the tag of Derek Lee and wasn't able to get his hand on the bag.
In the batter's box on the right side, it's foul. Sam Fuld on deck in Marmol's spot. Cubs lost 2 of 3 in their first series in this ballpark last year. Cubs and Nationals split the season series 3-3. After this weekend, the next and final time they'll meet in late August at Wrigley Field. 3-2 on Soriano. Here's a pitch by Tavares. We'll do it again. Big Z will go tomorrow night against right-hander Craig Stammen of the Nationals. Ball 4, he walked him.
Hey fans, if you're traveling and can't watch your Cubs on TV, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer, and catch those you've missed on demand. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on.
Sam Fuld batting for Marmol, with Soriano running, and a bouncer through the hole on the right side. First and third, nobody out.
I like that play, and it's something you can do when you have a lead late in the ball game. Nationals were expecting a bunt from Sam Fuld. Lou puts on the hit and run. Fuld able to bounce that ball over Nick Johnson into right field. Soriano a quick peek to see where the ball went. Able to easily turn the corner at second base and advance all the way around to third.
It's a great opportunity here to add on. Already leading by 2. Right now it's a save situation for Kevin Gregg in the bottom of the 9th, but the Cubs wouldn't mind giving him a non-save spot. Pitch swung on and missed. Milwaukee has jumped out to an 8-2 lead in Cincinnati with a 5-run 6th. Cubs starting the night 1 back of the Brewers for second, and a game and a half ahead of Cincinnati in the division. Cubs are tied with Houston. the Astros later tonight are in Los Angeles. Wandy Rodriguez and Randy Wolf. Good matchup of lefties in that one.
Good emergency swing there by Coy Hill to stay alive in the at-bat. Julian Taveras had thrown a slider toward that outside corner. Just at the last instant, stuck the bat out there, got a piece of it, stays alive.
Out hitting the Nationals 9-3. One home run in the game. That was Derek Lee back in the 6th. The pitch. Full count, 3-2. You could send Fold here, but man, you'd hate to run into a strike him out, throw him out double play. With a golden opportunity to add at least one more. Fold does run, base hit right field. Soriano's in, Fold on his way to third, and it is 4-1.
Piece of hitting right there by Coy Hill. Takes advantage of that hole in the right side of the infield. Sam Fold on the move. Soriano will trot home, score easily.
And Jim Riggleman's going to go with left-hander Sean Burnett. Tavares faced 3 and did not record an out. It's 4-1 Cubs, and they're still threatening with no outs.
Chili's. 3 courses, 2 people, $20.
Welcome to Chili's.
Start your 3-course meals with a shared appetizer. For a second course, choose 2 entrees from over 15 Chili's favorites. Like our Big Mouth Bites, the mini burgers with giant layers of flavor, or a half rack of our triple basted baby back ribs. Then save some room to share a decadent dessert. A lot of bold flavors for a limited time only. Chili's. 3 courses, 2 people, $20.
2 beers. You got it. Are you insured? Do you know when your beer is perfectly cold? Or do you risk drinking a warm one? If you have the new Coors Light Cold Activated can, you're covered. Because now every can turns blue when your beer is as cold as the Rockies. It's cold insurance. Only from Coors Light. Cold beer? That's our policy.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Get value the way you want. Choose a regular 6-inch sub from the Subway Everyday Value menu, like the Monjalicious Meatball Marinara and a side like chips and a 21-ounce drink for just $5. Only at Subway. Subway, eat fresh.
$5 foot long, $5 foot long. It's good to go wish.
The famous Subway $5 footlong rolls on. The piled high cold cut combo and many other regular $5 footlongs all day, every day.
The Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA Red Line stops directly at Wrigley Field at the Addison station. For drivers, DeVry University offers remote parking and bus service for just $6. For more details, visit Cubs.com or call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000. It's going to be left-hander Sean Burnett, who came over with Niger Morgan from the Pirates in late June. Those are his numbers combined with both teams, and he won't face Andres Blanco. It'll be Jake Fox instead.
See the numbers for Jake Fox on the season. He's also faced Sean Burnett. 1 for 1 with a double. I guess at this stage of his major league career, that's being familiar with somebody. He's had one at bat against him before.
the runner at third. Hill is over at first. Tapped to the mound. It's dropped by Burnett. The flip, not in time. So Fold makes it 5-1. He should have been a dead duck at the plate, but there's an error on the pitcher, Burnett. Their second error of the night. It's a fielder's choice for Jake Fox. No RBI.
Tapper back to the mound. Sam Folt was going on contact, was going to be dead at home plate. You may have noticed Sam Folt was starting to break it down. He was going to get caught in a rundown. That's how far out he was going to be at home plate. Once Burnett kicked that ball, Sam reversed engines, came on home and scored. Now, even if you're going on contact as a runner at third base, you don't just run into an out at home plate. Get caught in a rundown, try to let the trail runners advance another base, and that's what Sam was going to do until Burnett dropped the ball.
Johnson late on the swing, fouls it back to the top of the screen. A 2-run ninth, making it a 5-1 lead. So it's not a safe spot for the closer in the bottom of the inning. That's okay. He held up 1-2. Gets away, runners advance. It's a wild pitch on Burnett.
That's what you were talking about earlier in the ball game, Len, when Zimmerman made his error down at third base. That here we go again feeling. I think the Nationals are starting to get that feeling here in this inning. Julian Taveras unable to retire a batter. Then the error by Sean Burnett. Now a wild pitch. This is something the fans here in Washington have seen far too much of this summer.
Popped into center. Morgan is there to make the catch, and Hill will not attempt to score. That's out number one. Well, the other thing that's happened to them a lot, and they're in the process of having it happen again, is wasting a quality start by John Lannon. 6 2/3, 3 runs, only 2 earned, but they trail 5-1. He has put up a quality start as a National. His team has gone just 15-19, which is hard to do. Normally you win those games. Right-hander Tyler Clippard will come on. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, 2 in. Cubs leading 5-1. We'll be back.
Performance now is all about knowledge. Knowing you're driving the #1 selling car in its class. Knowing you're driving what Car and Driver named a 10 best for an unmatched 18th year in a row. And knowing that right now, BMW is offering exceptional programs to help you do so. Performance now is the 3 Series. Lease a BMW 328i for $349 a month, or take advantage of 1.9% finance.
All right, I'm on it. Dex, we need somewhere that'll print and bind 6 presentation books.
Crosswell's on the corner of 23rd and...
Sweet like a lollipop, don't stop, shake it.
Is it free download? Dex, you were saying?
Crosswell's on the corner of 23rd and...
Ooh, I'm getting another call. I'm gonna take it.
Trickles, don't stop. Don't stop.
The most complete local info in the book at DexKnows.com and now on your mobile device. Dex knows.
Right-hander Tyler Clippard is on to work, and I think this kind of sums up the first half for the Nationals. On Sunday in Houston, very embarrassing moment. In the middle of intentionally walking Hunter Pence with runners at second and third, Clippard caught a spike during his delivery, did not throw the ball. It was a balk, and it forced in a run. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. Thank goodness. Just as a point of rule for you young pitchers out there, if that ever does happen to you, I mean, let the ball go. You don't have to throw it hard. You don't have to throw a strike. You don't even have to throw the pitch that's been called for. But if you let the ball go, all you can be charged with is a ball.
Slicing, and it's caught by Willingham. Terrio will end up with a sacrifice fly as Coy Hill scores, and it's 6-1. 3 runs here in the ninth. 2 RBIs for Terrio, giving him 32 on the year. Fox still at second base, so a runner in scoring position for Milton Bradley. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Back-to-back changeups from Clippard. Pretty good one at that.
Kick in the 0-2 is up and away. We haven't even mentioned him talking about all the issues the Nationals have going on. They had the first pick in this year's draft. They took right-hander Steven Strasburg from San Diego State. They have not signed him yet. He was drafted after his junior year. The deadline is a month away, August 17th. No swing by Bradley. During the All-Star Game festivities, Strasburg was awarded the Golden Spikes Award, top amateur player in the country, but I don't get the impression, based on what I've read, that anything's going on, and it might go right down to the wire.
Well, it's the Scott Boras represented player, so it will go down to the wire.
Hopefully this one's not going to go down to the wire, as the Cubs lead by 5, and Kevin Gregg will look for a dramaless bottom of the ninth when we come back.
Car and Driver says Nissan Altima delivers a level of fun that's missing from most other midsize sedans. Yes, you can get excitement and quality. The 2009 Nissan Altima ranked highest among midsize cars in the initial quality study by J.D. Power & Associates, with more horsepower than Toyota Camry and no sacrifice in fuel efficiency. Some also say Altima's breaking the mold. Get one as low as $13,900 with government voucher. Look closer. Nissan delivers.
See Wrigley Field like you never have before. Take a 90-minute behind-the-scenes tour of this legendary ballpark. Now, Chicago Trolley offers convenient transportation to and from Wrigley Field. Purchase tickets by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS or by visiting Cubs.com.
How'd you get her to agree to this?
Simple. I told her about the Luna Double. I went to luna.com/Cubs and saved double.
It's like found money.
773-202 Luna.
The Pontiac summer closeout is here. Hurry to get the Pontiac you want before they're gone. The price on the tag is the price you pay. Get a 2009 Pontiac Vibe for $13,708 after all offers. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on most 2009 Pontiac models. All are backed with the best coverage in America, including a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Get some excitement while you still can during the Pontiac summer closeout. Find your local dealer at PontiacDrive.com.
Time for our Lexus Pursuing Perfection player of the game, Rich Harden. In desperate need of a quality outing, and man, was he quality tonight. Didn't walk anybody. Fastball was excellent all night. 7 strikeouts, no walks, and poised to even up his season mark at 6-6. Sam Foltz stays in to play left for Soriano. Fontenot's going to play second. We've seen Baker, Blanco, and Fontenot at second base tonight. Here's Kevin Gregg in a non-save spot. Nick Johnson leads off the bottom of the ninth with his team down 5. He was at the plate as the tying run in the bottom of the 8th when Niger Morgan was picked off by Carlos Marmol. That'll probably get lost in the shuffle. That's deep to left. Fold going back on it on the warning track. He hauls it in, 1 out. But that was a pretty big momentum swing.
And this game is all about momentum and momentum swings, and I agree with you 100%. Even though there were 2 outs in the inning, it just felt like the Nationals thought they had something cooking there with one of their best hitters at the plate, their best base runner on at first, and then that pickoff just thwarted any effort they had to get back into this ball game.
Zimmerman takes a strike, and for those watching and those observers who look at this series and say the Cubs should come in here and sweep this team, it absolutely at the bare minimum like to see them win 3 out of 4, but I don't think anybody in that clubhouse is going to minimize the win tonight. No one in there is going to go, well, it's just Washington. That's not how it works. And I don't think anybody watching this team this year should look at it that way. As Zimmerman hits that deep out toward the foul pole and right, and it's gone, a home run. Just over the 335 marker. And it's 6-2. As Zimmerman parks it into the bullpen for his 15th homer. Look at it, Bob. Everybody in the National League has to play everybody else. And if you're playing a team like the Nationals, you go in, you try to beat them, you take nobody lightly. It's all about piling up wins. Doesn't matter who you play.
Well, the best attitude to take is to tell yourself every day, this is the biggest game of the year. Regardless of the opponent, regardless of what they've done lately, regardless of the opposing pitcher, this is the biggest game of the season. If you approach every game like that, yeah, come October, you're going to be right where you want to be. I mean, I don't think guys consciously go into cruise control, but it happens from time to time throughout the course of the season, even to the best players and the best teams. And the best teams are the ones that can avoid that cruise control mentality and go out there and have that sense of urgency, that intensity and the focus every game, regardless of who you're playing.
The 2-1 to Dunn is outside 3-1. Greg again doesn't want to walk anybody in this spot. Dunn has struck out all 3 times to date. Ball 4. So Dunn has not put a ball in play all night, but he does reach for the first time. Telling Derek Lee just play behind Dunn with a 4-run lead. It's a 4-run game right now, Bob, but I think this is a big out. Willingham with good power. A 2-0 count on him. If Greg can get him, could take a little bit of a breath. Not a lot of power at the bottom of their lineup. Again, Greg can't take a breath, but I think as you kind of look at how this inning sets up, getting through the first 4 in the order, a definite key for Greg. Even though he's allowed a home run and a walk, he started the inning with a 5-run advantage. Bradley comes over. He's going to have room. 2 outs.
Jim Riggleman doesn't really have a lot of thunder available off the bench for that matter. Austin Kearns is having a horrible offensive year. Only has 3 home runs on the season. Will Nieves, the backup catcher, has yet to homer. And you've got a couple of utility players in Willie Harris and Anderson Hernandez who are not known for their power. So getting past Willingham was a big out in this inning.
Guzman 0 for 3. Here we go. Just missed the outside edge. Quickly, an update on the other games. Atlanta leading the Mets 4-3 in the top of the 8th. Milwaukee ahead by 6, 9-3 in the 7th. Phillies shut out the Marlins 4-0. Houston and LA just underway, no score. Same for the Rockies and the Padres. So you're up to date in the National League. Only a couple of games in the AL. Cleveland beats Seattle 4-1. Fly ball to center. Reed Johnson's going back on it. Plenty of room. Makes the catch. Cubs win. So they start the second half with a 6-2 victory here in D.C. And they jump back over 500. Cardinals idle. So they're now within 3 in the National League Central. I think the best part of tonight was Rich Harden's performance. There was some concern after the last couple of outings, but he was excellent tonight.
All right, great building block to work on in the second half of the season. He had his command. He had his good straight changeup, working in a great rhythm out there on the mound, and made just enough offense stand up until that 9th inning when the Cubs put 3 on the board and blew it open a little bit.
So that's going to wrap up our game coverage. Stay tuned. More to come on Post Game Live. Once again, the final score tonight, the Cubs 6, the Nationals 2. Our next Cubs telecast here on Comcast Sportsnet will be tomorrow night from right back here at Nationals Park, 6 o'clock for the airtime for Game 2 of this series. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. And now for Bob, our producer Bob Albrecht, our director Dave Turner, our associate producer Tamara Anderson, and our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew. This is Len Casper, Gail and Todd coming up in our Comcast Sportsnet studios.
Hi everyone, Gail Fisher with you. Stick around for Lowe's Cubs postgame live after a quick timeout. Todd Hollinsworth joins us to break down the game. Plus he'll give us his take on the Cubs signing B.J. Ryan. And we'll hear from Lou Piniella on the move. That's next on Lowe's Cubs postgame live.
Want to see all the action from the front row? Now you can with the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. Front row seats will be auctioned off to each game all season long. For more information, visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. The best seats are always a click away.
I am the strength and you are the breath, and you will grow, become the best. And in your time, find blue skies everywhere.
For generations, families have built lasting traditions with the confidence that Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois will continue to be there for all the celebrations yet to come.
Find blue skies everywhere.
I know you do more brakes and mufflers than anyone, but do you really do shocks and struts too?
Yes.
Factory scheduled maintenance?
Yes.
Oil changes?
Yes.
Tire rotation?
Yes.
Belts and hoses?
Yes.
Headlights?
Yes.
Batteries?
Yes.
Back rubs?
Yes.
Come to Midas for the Midas Touch Maintenance Package. It includes oil and filter change, tire rotation, and a 45-point courtesy check. For brakes, maintenance, tires, and more,
trust the Midas Touch.
Let's go, man! 2 beers. your beer is perfectly cold? Or do you risk drinking a warm one? If you have the new Coors Light cold activated can, you're covered. Because now every can turns blue and your beer is as cold as the Rockies. It's cold insurance. Only from Coors Light. Cold beer. That's our policy. You might want to put something cold on that.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Experience a Cubs game at historic Wrigley Field. Individual tickets are available for upcoming games. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS, visiting the Wrigley Field box office, or by logging on to Cubs.com. See you at beautiful Wrigley Field.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Menards. At Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Midas, we're on this road together. Go to MidasChicago.com for valuable savings. Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by Toyota. See your Toyota dealer now to start saving now. This is Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live.
And the Cubs are off to a winning start in the second half of the season as they beat the Nationals 6-2. Rich Harden pitching a good game, picking up his 6th victory of the season. Hello and welcome to Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live. Gail Fisher and Todd Hollandsworth here with you after this All-Star break. And this is what we wanted to see, the Cubs coming out and winning this first game of the second half. They did a nice job pitching. They, of course, scored some runs. And you could say the Nationals are a bad team, but that's the point. The Cubs need to beat the teams they're supposed to beat.
Well, you can't assume anything. You've got a team that's 40 games under 500 right now. This is a game that you want to win. This is a series that you want to win, and you want to get off on the right foot. And they did just that tonight. They got some timely hitting, 2-out RBIs. Great to see. Guys picking each other up in the lineup. Started early in the game. Ryan Theriot picking up Reed Johnson. Reed Johnson struck out with a runner on third base. Ryan Theriot comes up, hits the double down the line. That's how an offense works. They pick each other up. They take the pressure off each other. They make each other comfortable. Reed Johnson comes up later in the game, drives in a 2-out run himself. And guys start feeling comfortable out there. They keep the pressure on the mound. You saw that late when the pressure was on the mound, not in the dugout with the offensive side of the game. Guys, you're putting pressure out there. They make better pitches. You get better pitches to hit. They make worse pitches on the mound. You allow the pitcher to get himself in trouble. And Rich Harden was fantastic.
Yeah, a well-pitched game by Harden. You know, a lot of concerns about Rich Harden going into the All-Star break because he had a couple of really awful starts before the break. Well, he comes out and he looks like he's back to form. He is our Feldco star of the game.
I loved his fastball tonight. He was throwing a mid-90s fastball. It was overpowering tonight. He went out there. This is a good offense, the Nationals. Their big problem has been their defense and their pitching. He went out there tonight and just took control of this game, and you just felt like, boy, one run was going to be enough for him. The question was going to be, how long was he going to go? And he's dominant. The big key, the middle of the lineup had 5. He struck out Zimmerman and Adam Dunn 5 out of 6 at bats. I mean, that's just dominating an offense.
Rich Harden gave up a run, but it was not earned, as you see from the pitching recap by the numbers. John Lannon going 6 2/3. He actually pitched well for a while, Todd. This was a well-pitched game on both sides, and Lannon, though, just didn't have the defensive support behind him.
Well, what you recognize was the approach that the Cubs had. They were determined to take him the other way. It was one of the first times this year that I really saw a conscious effort by this offense to stay inside the game plan. You see that error right there by Zimmerman, which actually set the table here. But again, the Cubs taking advantage of miscues by the opposition. These are things that they weren't doing earlier in the year. Now, granted, we're talking about a team that's 40 games under 500. When you jump on teams like this, they wilt faster. They fall apart, and that's exactly what you need to do. You get the big 2-out hit right there, you're on the board. Rich Harden's in control. Things start going your way. You start feeling good about yourself, and you start getting that momentum.
And what you like to see, as you mentioned, you had the taking advantage of miscues, the base hits, moving guys over, scoring runs that way. And then you have Derek Lee stepping up to hit a home run, his 18th homer of the season. So it's nice to see the Cubs have a mix of sort of a small ball and then the power.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Derek, it was fun to watch him tonight. He was fouling balls off, and that at bat right there, which he hit that home run to right field, a screaming line drive in which he stayed behind the ball and drove it out to right. He fouled off 2 balls to the left side, and if you were watching the game as closely as I was, because Derek is so hot right now that it's fun, he he is fouling balls off hard to the right side. I mean, this is a guy who is absolutely locked in at the plate right now and feeling good about himself. He's just finding his pitch to hit. His timing's on. The ball, all the ball marks on his bat are right around the barrel. He's just saying right now, give me something around the plate that I can sit back on and just hammer, and he is doing just a great job. I mean, he honestly, his only out tonight was a line out to right.
Well, it looks like the Cubs got their rest over the All-Star break. The last thing you wanted to see was this team come out flat to start the second half. They did not. They win it 6-2 in Washington. And as we hit our first break, let's check out our Cubs poll question of the night. What's your prediction for the Cubs now in the second half? They will absolutely win the division. They'll win the wild card. They'll finish at 500 or below 500. Log on to CSNChicago.com, then visit the Cubs team page to cast your vote, and we'll have the results later on Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live.
Tired of taking the train to work? Call 877-GET-ALONG. We've got the credit to hook you up with a new ride. Call 877-GET-ALONG and get off the train.
Hi, I'm Eddie Olczyk here to tell you about the new Chicago Blackhawk hockey camps coming this summer to rinks around the Chicagoland area. I'm thrilled with the opportunity to be the head instructor. You're going to get current and former Blackhawk players and coaches at every camp. Individual skill and team play, over 12 hours of ice time, off-ice strength and conditioning, and classroom as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. For more information, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com or call 312-455-7620. See you this summer.
This quote of the week is brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich, in business for over 30 years. For an insurance quote for auto, home, life, or business, please call Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich at 847-825-4783.
The Pontiac summer closeout is here. Hurry to get the Pontiac you want before they're gone. The price on the tag is the price you pay. Get a 2009 Pontiac Vibe for $13,708 after all offers. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on most 2009 Pontiac models. All are backed with the best coverage in America, including a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Get some excitement while you still can during the Pontiac summer closeout. Find your local dealer at PontiacDrive.com.
Hey everyone, Len Casper and Bob Brenly here.
How'd you like to hit the links with us this summer?
Presenting the annual Swingin' Away with Len and Bob sweepstakes. You and a guest could win a round of golf with us at Cantini Golf in Wheaton.
To enter, just log on to CSNChicago.com and fill out an entry form.
The Swingin' Away with Len and Bob sweepstakes, presented by the Chicago District Golf Association, for everyone who plays the game.
Go beyond the box score with Cy Young Award winner Steve Stone.
I've said that the Cubs are going to win the division all along.
Watch Chicago Tribune Live and Sports Night Weekly for baseball insight from the man who played on both sides of town.
I believe in Kenny Williams' mind, every year is a year where you go after a championship. I've always said that anger is a luxury that a pitcher can't afford because it distorts your perceptions. That personifies Carlos Zambrano.
Steve Stone, every week on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Monsters in the Morning Encore, weeknights at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Time now for our Four Seasons Who's Hot, Who's Not around the majors. We're looking at the entire first half of the season. Who was hot in that first half? Albert Pujols. That's why he was an all-star along with Prince Fielder. Look at these guys. 87 RBI for Pujols, 78 RBI for Prince Fielder. Tim Lincecum also was red hot in that first half. 10 wins. He struck out 149 batters. Now, who was not hot during the first half? A lot of guys, but these were among the worst. Chris Young struck out 73 times. Bill Hall hitting just 199 for Milwaukee. And Doug Davis, who can figure this guy out? 4-9. He struck out 91 batters, but he also walked 55. Welcome back to Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live. Gail Fisher alongside Todd Hollinsworth, and the Cubs get the victory in Washington. 6-2 is your final, and they did a lot offensively. A little power, a little small ball. Let's check out the Cubs box score from the night. I hate to be negative, Todd, but you look at Milton Bradley, 0 for 5. This guy said in the paper, by the way, he promises he's going to hit in the second half. But I bring it up only because he's hitting in that 3-hole, and we were just talking in the break why that might be.
Well, it's a good situation. Your hottest hitter in the first half, your 2 hottest hitters, Ryan Theriot was in front of him, Derek Lee's behind him. You want to talk about protection, you're putting a guy in a spot to get some good pitches to hit. Now, he didn't have his best game tonight, but if you continue to put him there, hopefully he'll start squaring up some balls and hitting some line drives and hitting some home runs as well. I mean, it's a good opportunity for him. I mean, he's got one of the hottest hitters in the National League, and Derek Lee behind him. You saw that tonight. Ryan Theriot has been Mr. Consistent in the first half. It's a good spot for him to be in because he's definitely going to get some pitches to hit. He's just going to have to capitalize on that momentum. There was really a good game plan tonight by this offense. I was so impressed to see just the effort collectively to go the other way. A crafty left-hander out there on the mound in Lannon who continually changes speeds. Those are guys that you have to stay up the middle the other way on. You can't go up there looking to hit home runs and trying to take advantage of maybe a mistake because a lot of times they don't come. This guy has had success for Washington. It's because he's controlled both sides of the plate with crafty left-hander stuff, which is an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, a good slow curveball, a good changeup, and he keeps the ball down in the zone. Without a good approach tonight, you don't score the runs that you scored against him. At the same time, they really seem to me to be prepared. You talk about the video preparation. They had a very good job tonight because they collectively went out there and decided to go the other way.
I do have to wonder, though, how much Giovanni Soto being out is going to affect this lineup because you essentially can't use Jake Fox because he has to be the backup catcher, so loose options are limited.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, you're asking your backup catcher in Coy Hill to do an awful lot right now, but I think ideally what you want him to do is make sure he goes out there and does his #1 job, which is to be the best catcher that he can be and control this pitching staff, and that's a challenge in itself. You got a lot of good arms out there, a lot of different arm slots, and he's going to have to continue to do what he's doing. I think what you miss most importantly is the offense that Giovanni can bring to this Cubs offense. Right now you're missing it. He was hot when he got hurt. Hopefully he's not out too much longer. Coy, he got a big hit tonight. He drove in another run, had a walk. Again, he got on base with that error early in the game. He's going to give you a little bit of offense. He's not going to give you what Giovanni can essentially give you when he gets going. But, as long as he fills in and does his job behind the plate and you get a little bit of offense, I think you're going to be okay.
Well, Jim Hendry might be looking for a backup catcher as we speak. He did make another move today, and we will talk about the Cubs' newest member as Todd Hollandsworth gives us his thoughts on B.J. Ryan. That's next.
It's Feltco's free installation sale on Feltco windows, siding, and doors. But hurry, offer ends July 31st.
Call 866 for Feltco.
This is the dedicated Feltco installation team, and right now they will install Feltco windows, siding, and doors free.
Hey, Dave, we're still getting paid for this, right?
Yeah, Jim, we talked about this.
It's Feltco's free installation sale on Feltco windows, siding, and doors.
It's Feltco's biggest sale of the year. But hurry, this offer ends July 31st.
Call 866 for Feltco.
Auto Week raves. Toyota Camry is a perfectly boring automobile. Car and driver gushes. It's dull as dishwater. Good thing quality doesn't have to be boring. Nissan Altima undergoes over 5,000 quality tests and beats Toyota Camry in horsepower without sacrificing fuel efficiency. Some also say it's a whole lot of fun. Get Altima now for as little as $13,900 with government voucher. Look closer. Nissan delivers.
Our family has owned and operated Cassidy Tire and Service for over 95 years, and your satisfaction always comes first.
With over 100,000 tires in stock, we guarantee to have the right tire at a great price.
We provide the services your car needs to keep it on the road longer.
And we offer free 25-point inspections and free alignment checks.
Because it's our job to make sure you're safe on the road.
At Cassidy Tire and Service, we do more and we do it better. So count on us to be your one-stop shop.
Something about this heat. Big ass pulling.
Yeah. We're at 50 now.
I'll be right there.
Don't just trust anybody to cool you down.
Those fellas sure were fast.
Call Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning at 866-4Seasons. For all the right reasons, Four Seasons.
The
Cadillac Summer Celebration is going on now at Grosinger Cadillac Lincolnwood. Get 0% financing for 72 months or $16,000 off new Cadillacs. Plus, lease a brand new 2009 Cadillac CTS for only $399 a month. Only at Grosinger Cadillac Lincolnwood. Grosinger Cadillac always offers the absolute lowest prices, the largest Cadillac selection, the best service possible, and only Grosinger offers a 3-day 150-mile exchange policy on every new Cadillac for $16,000 off new Cadillacs or a new 2009 CTS for $399 a month. Hurry to Grosinger Cadillac Lincolnwood.
Today, the Cubs signed left-handed pitcher B.J. Ryan to a minor league contract. Ryan will report to the team's rookie-level club in Mesa, Arizona on Sunday. The 33-year-old reliever is a two-time American League All-Star. He has posted an ERA of below 3 in 4 of the last 5 seasons entering 2009. The southpaw had some injury problems, including Tommy John surgery in 2007. And he was struggling this year in Toronto, so the Blue Jays released him. Now, the Jays will continue to shoulder the financial burden of Ryan's contract, so it's really a no-risk situation for the Cubs. And Lou Piniella loves to have lefties in that bullpen. Well, the manager has some options there now. Here's what Lou had to say about the signing of Ryan.
We don't really have much left-handed depth at all in this organization, at least at the upper levels. So he'll go to Arizona and work out with our minor league pitching coordinator. And from then he'll probably go to our AAA team, and when they feel he's ready, they'll bring him up. If he pitches anywhere near how he was pitching with the Orioles and with Toronto, he'll help us. But I think that's down the road just a little bit.
Well, here's a look at his history. Todd, this guy has been successful. In fact, as I said, a two-time American League All-Star. Has he lost it? What happened to him this year?
Well, he's had some arm problems. He's had Tommy John surgery, and he really hasn't bounced back from it. That, to me, is what really has been his big problem, is his loss in his velocity. This is a very confident individual. A very confident individual is a guy who can go out there year after year and save ball games, and this guy did it. And not only did he do it, he did it in the American League East. So that says that this guy knows how to pitch under pressure. You're dealing with Boston's, you're dealing with New York's, and he's definitely gotten the job done. Now, whether his stuff is as good as it was then, that has been left to be seen. So we're hoping that even if it's maybe half of as good as it used to be, he could be successful here. And here's my reason. He hasn't seen a whole lot of the National League, and the National League hasn't seen a whole lot of B.J. Ryan, and that's going to be an advantage to him, especially for this Cubs team in the second half. So if he can just find enough that's left in the tank, or find something to move on, or find a way to get some guys out. I mean, there's a lot of familiarity where he was in the American League East. He is not there any longer. He's in a place where nobody really has seen him. This is a second chance for him. So if he can get together and get healthy and feeling good about himself, and he can get his velocity up decent enough, he can come in and make pitches and get guys out, just based on the fact that nobody's really seen him before.
Well, it's worth a try. He's certainly, again, it's not a no-risk situation for the Cubs. And the other option, if he can come in and help this team, you could take Sean Marshall and put him back in the rotation, only because with Ryan Dempster on the DL, you may need him.
Well, that's why you take a flyer in this situation. It's a good opportunity to add to your bullpen, to give yourself some flexibility. At the same time, you're not expecting the world of B.J. Ryan. If he can come in and get some guys out, maybe be that setup lefty or that specialist that comes in and gets the one left-handed hitter out, especially in this division where there's some legitimate left-handed thunder, you've got an opportunity to add somebody to your bullpen that's going to help you out down the stretch. Again, he's got the one thing on his side that most of these guys have not seen him before. So if he's got the ability to come in and throw strikes, and he's got enough of off-speed pitches, again, I know his velocity's down and it's not what it used to be, he's got an opportunity to affect the bullpen for the Cubs, and not only that, to affect this race.
We'll see if he can do it. All right, Game 2 in Washington tomorrow. We will take a look at that pitching matchup. And as we had to break, one last chance to vote on our Cubs opinion poll question of the night. What is your prediction for the Cubs in the second half? Those are your choices. Go to CSNChicago.com, give us your vote, and we'll have the results right after this.
Isn't it ironic that the car with the highest predicted residual value of any vehicle in its class is the one you'll never dream of selling? Range Rover Sport, the luxury that's more than a luxury.
Technology
can hold you back or set you free. Toshiba, the laptop expert, designs laptops to work the way you do.
My lottery dream? Vegas, baby. But my ticket didn't win. I'm out. You're back in. You can win 35 grand every weekday this summer with old tickets. I have old tickets in my car. That's why we're moving in with you.
I'm a dancer. I can dance.
The Second Chance Summer. Bring back your tickets. Bring back your dreams.
More capable and sure-footed in this economy than most economists. Range Rover Sport, a luxury that's more than a luxury.
Here are the results of your Cubs opinion poll question of the night. What is your prediction for the Cubs in the second half? Wow, 62% say they will win the division. Still a lot of confidence among Cub fans, and you should be confident. They're only 3 games back of St. Louis now with the victory tonight and the Cardinals being idle. The Cubs 1 game above 500. They're right there. It's just a matter of putting it together, and winning the division is in their sights.
Well, I think that's what they need to focus on. I think this is an opportunity for them to realize what they can do. I think that the teams in this division are a little bit more evenly matched. And what I will say is I think they need to win the division, because I think the wild card is going to definitely come from somewhere else, probably out west. And the reason I say that is that the teams are separating themselves. You've got good teams out west, and you've got some teams that are just really, really struggling to get it together. They've already changed. We've had some managerial changes, and a lot of teams are going young right now. So, I mean, these are teams that are building for the future, not necessarily this year. And then you've got teams like Los Angeles and San Francisco that have got some veterans and are kind of starting to run away with some things. So the road for San Francisco is definitely going to be a little bit easier for that wild card.
Game 2 in Washington tomorrow. Let's check out the pitching matchup for that game. It will be Carlos Zambrano for the Cubs, Craig Stammen for the Nationals. Scott Olsen was a late scratch here. I guess he pulled a muscle. Zambrano looking for just win number 6 on the year. Those 5 wins, not really a reflection, Todd, of how well he's pitched, but let's get this poor guy some W's.
Well, I think this is a good opportunity for him to get that W. He's got an opportunity to go out against a team that's 40 games under 500. What I will say is you don't want to give this Washington National team any reason for optimism. It's good for them to go out there tomorrow, get after them, score some runs early, and let Big Z take over.
And you will see Game 2 on our station again tomorrow. Todd and I will have the post game for you. Sports Night is coming up at 10 o'clock. Baseball's Golden Age in Progress is up next.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented to you by Lowe's. This season, spring starts at Lowe's. Let's build something together.
The game of golf is full of treasures, memories, keepsakes. But it's more than that. It tests your will and captures the soul. Golf is the sport of a lifetime, played by people of all ages all over the world. Here at Golf Chicago, we have an appreciation of this terrific game with a special Windy City touch.
Don't miss Golf Chicago on Comcast Sportsnet. Check local listings.
The Pontiac summer closeout is here. Hurry to get the Pontiac you want before they're gone. The price on the tag is the price you pay. Get a 2009 Pontiac Vibe for $13,708 after all offers. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on most 2009 Pontiac models. All are backed with the best coverage in America, including a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Get some excitement while you still can during the Pontiac summer closeout. Find your local dealer at PontiacDrive.com.
Hey Chicago, Fans Edge, the nation's #1 fan shop, brings you the Sports Spectacular Memorabilia Show. Meet over 50 star athletes, get one of 600 free autograph photos, score thousands of Fans Edge prizes, shop and trade with hundreds of vendors. It's the Fans Edge Sports Spectacular at the Donald D. Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont. Fans Edge, everything for the fan.
Skin cancer is of epidemic proportions, with over 1 million new cases diagnosed in America this year. Cancerous moles or spots are asymmetrical, borders irregular, color changing, diameter enlarging, and evolving means that any change that's occurring.
How about early detection?
Well, early detection is crucial. And remember, if you can spot it, you can stop it.
Come to the free skin cancer screening this Saturday from 8 to noon at Soderstrom Skin Institute, 1800 East 54th Street at Waterford Place, Davenport.
Your Quad City Steamwheelers celebrate 10 years of arena football in the Quad Cities. Join in with the whole family for an inexpensive night out and witness our run for a 3rd Arena Cup championship.
Watch the Steamwheelers take on the Iowa Barnstormers at the last home game of the season on July 18th. Free hot dog for every fan, and the first 1,000 kids receive a free autographed mini football.
Individual game tickets available now at the iWireless Center or Ticketmaster.com.
It's our 10th season, and we need you to pack the house.
Join our regularly scheduled program already in progress.
Welcome back to baseball's golden age, where history comes alive in its original color. Next up, the doormats of the golden age, the Washington Senators. From its inception, baseball has been the national pastime, so it was only fitting that the nation's capital had a big league team of its own. But unlike their distinguished namesakes, the Senators hardly ruled.
The Washington Senators are the team of damn Yankees. The team which has to sell its soul to win a pennant because they are so woeful. The joke went, Washington first in war, first in peace, and last in the American League.
On opening day, they would play the national anthem, and then they would start the game, and Walter Johnson would throw the first pitch, and the umpire would say, ball one. And the typical Senator fan would say, here we go, another lousy year.
They were chronically a second division, weak hitting team. A league doormat most of the time, except when Johnson pitched, and he pitched heroically. And I think to this day, he owns the record for losing 1-0 games. He lost about 60 of them.
Walter Johnson was the game's premier pitcher at the dawn of the Golden Age. But he didn't have much support behind him. Because owner Clark Griffith's sole business was his baseball team, there was no revenue from other interests to help keep his franchise competitive.
Clark Griffith was not a wealthy man, so we got 1 or 2 good players, and the rest was a cast. One thing I made sure was, I never said, well, the Senators have a lead. Looks like it could be their day, because it turned out it was never their day. I avoided also saying always which team was winning or losing. It was sufficient to say, well, it's 18-2. And people knew which team was winning and which team was losing.
The Senators really had a tough time. They played in a little ballpark called Griffith Stadium.
The place was a cavern. You would have fewer than 10 home runs hit by both clubs at Griffith Stadium in an entire year.
It was 421 to dead center, 405 to left field. You could go a whole season depending how many games you went to. You didn't see a home run. I used to sit in the center field bleachers, and the great thing about it was you could actually talk to the players. There was a guy for the White Sox, Jungle Jim Rivera. We were, hey, Jim, you really look bad. Hey, Jungle, go back to the minors. His head's down. Finally, he picks it up and he says, I never could hit well against the last place team.
It was a Major League ball club, but wasn't run like a Major League ball club should be run. I remember that on opening day, that when the president came to throw out the first ball, we had to buy our family tickets. In 1961, Major League Baseball granted Griffith's wish to relocate his club to Minnesota. Not wanting to separate America's capital from its pastime, baseball quickly established an expansion team in Washington, also named the Senators.
At the time, I thought that was the worst kind of deal they could have given him, and I still think that was pretty rotten, because in 1960, the Senators were building up to become a good ball club. They had Harmon Killebrew and Bob Allison, Camilo Pascual, Pedro Ramos, and that's when the American League moved the Senators Club to Minnesota and gave the Washington fans an expansion team.
Within 5 seasons of the move, the Twins were AL pennant winners, and the Senators were still the Senators.
I was in Washington in 1969, and Ted Williams is named the manager of the Senators. He didn't have too much patience, Williams. He's a little disgusted at the Senator hitters. So, toward the end of batting practice, says, "Give me a bat! Give me a bat!" He was like 50 years old. And he's like, "What? 10 years going to bat? What is this?" Man, we all said, "Look, Ted's going to bat. Come on." And he gets a pitcher out. "Give me, come on, throw it. Just throw it." The pitcher gave him 10 pitches. He hit 7 balls off the right field wall. 2 went over, and the third one was a shot to right center field. Threw the bat down, so that's how you do it.
Fans in D.C. were just as fed up, never embracing this version of the club. Ownership didn't take to the city either, and after 11 seasons, the organization became the Texas Rangers. But this time, Washington would not ratify another Senators franchise.
And so the nation's capital remained bereft of big league baseball, although some wags have said they really never had big league baseball in Washington.
When we return, players come and go, but their outfits remain. We take a look at classic uniforms from the Golden Age.
Time only, save up to 65%. Call your travel agent or 1-800-SANDALS.
These two here, guys. It's all good, man. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. You know what? Follow me.
There you go, guys. Enjoy the game.
Heineken Light, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hey, guys, can you pass me one? Please?
Heineken Light. Give yourself a good name.
Welcome back to baseball's golden age. Your ticket back to day games and doubleheaders through the greatest collection of color home movies ever assembled of Major League Baseball from the 1930s through the 60s. Next up, Golden Age uniforms. During baseball's golden age, uniforms and logos served a greater purpose than simply identifying teams and players. They linked generations and branded communities while carrying the history of a franchise in every stitch.
I love the uniforms of the late 40s and early 50s. They were clean, and they wore the high stirrups and had pants about halfway so the stripes on the socks showed.
The visiting team always had it